But for people like Michelle Pressier, the worst has just begun. Ms. Pressier lost her husband to COVID in late May, just as many restrictions were being lifted, and life for many was starting to look more like normal. Customers were going without masks last week at the Walmart near her home in Pasadena, Maryland, where she was shopping for items for her husband's funeral. So as everybody's getting happy and being excited, remember, there are still these cases, and there's still serious cases of people in hospital.
People are still dying.
Half of Americans now are protected, though, by at least one dose of a vaccine. And the virus outlook in this country is the best it's been at any point of the pandemic. New cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are lower than they have been in many months, and even the most cautious health officials are celebrating the country's progress. Fully vaccinated people who are at low risk of catching and spreading the virus have been told that they can take off their masks and return to normal activities with the support of top scientists. For now, though, about 450 deaths are being reported per day in the United States. Let's see, in Utah, the Utah Department of Health's COVID-19 report, 143 new cases Monday and one additional death that occurred before May 1st, actually. According to before May 1st, I wonder, I guess they just found out now that the cause of the death was COVID. According to the state, 2,594,156 vaccines have been administered in Utah. So this is kind of an odd story. Genola, Utah. I've been through there, but I can't quite place it in my mind. It's central Utah, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's central.
Kind of around Wayne County, maybe.
Yeah, it's in that kind of general area.
Fire crews were working.
By Payson.
Oh, I thought it was further south.
It's west of the Payson Temple. I'm looking at the map.
West of the Payson Temple?
I thought it was. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, fire crews were working to put out a blaze at a recycling plant in Genola without an exact reason why the fire started. Large, dark plumes of smoke could be seen rising in the area Monday afternoon. Oh, yeah, just west of Santaquin, it says here. Mm-hmm. According to Genola Volunteer Fire Department Chief William McMullen, their firefighters were called in just about 2:30 p.m. That's Spanish Fork time, by the way.
Yes, it's different there.
It's a little, they're in a different, Spanish Fork is in a slightly different time zone from the rest of us. I think they're about 15 minutes slower.
Yeah.
He said he could tell pretty quickly it was not going to be an easy job for his small department to fight, especially on a holiday. I started getting on the radio and calling other resources in because we didn't have enough people in town. The flames spread through the yard, reaching large scrap piles and propane tanks. The tanks began exploding in fiery mounds of metal, shooting black smoke into the sky. Wow. So what happened exactly? How did this fire start?
Yeah.
Well, this guy, there was an employee working on scrapping a car, and he was using heavy equipment on the car when it just suddenly burst into flames. Now, this guy's done this a bunch of times before. This guy who works this scrap metal machine. They always try to make sure that all the gasoline is drained out and everything. And he'd done all of that. He's done this 100 times. Car just caught on fire, and one thing led to another. And besides being 15 minutes behind time, this was a big fire. It was hard, but they finally got it under control with volunteers from several departments, including the firefighters in Goshen, Payson, Santaquin, and Salem. They all responded, and they got the fire out.
We all would.
Let's see. So the Texas state legislature.
Ooh. Well, to half of them.
To half of them.
They're trying to pass this very restrictive bill that would impose some of the strictest limits in the nation on voting access. You know, we should be making it easier for people to vote, not harder.
Aren't you
But-
Republicans? Aren't you suspicious that your party doesn't want people to vote? Aren't you suspicious of that?
Speaking as a registered Republican, Gina, all of
Yes.
our policies and ideas are so very popular that we don't need that many people to vote. That's how we're doing it.
We just want to make sure that the right people have the
It's
right.
just rhymes with right. Yes.
Yeah. But so anyway, the Republican-controlled legislature has gotten this bill together, and the Democrats decided in the Texas legislature, well, we won't back down. As a matter of fact, we're not going to vote at all. And they
Excellent.
spread the word, and they walked out.
Good for
I think
them.
that's terrific, yes.
Well, none of them showed up for the votes. So now the governor of Texas is saying, if you don't show up for the vote, you know what happens? You're not going to get paid. Okay. The GOP leaders
So
said
much
that
for
they would-
bipartisanship there.
they'd revive their efforts in a special session of the legislature. The bill's chief architect in the State House of Representatives, Briscoe Cain,
Briscoe Cain, that's a made-up name.
said the
That's not a
walkout
real
might
person.
enable Republicans to craft a measure even more to their liking.
There's
even
crazy
more
things in
restrictive.
it, like there can't be more than 2 people from your household. You can't drive more than 2 people from your household to
Yeah.
vote.
That's how.
Why do you care?
Exactly.
Why? Because people that can't afford a car or elderly or
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
That
don't-
means that the old folks' home can't get a van together to
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
all the old folks there. You know.
Well, that's because they get all the old folks together and they say, okay, you'll all vote Democrat and we'll give you a free lunch. So let's get in the car, in the van, and go.
It's just
Whoa.
amazing.
Yeah. There's some just weird stuff in it like that.
It's just I look across the nation and I'm like, yeah, I thought with the Orange 45 gun we'd be okay, but no, our democracy is more in danger now than it ever has been.
Yeah.
You know, because of these wackadoos.
I'm afraid you're right, my friend. I'm afraid you're right. It's going to be a big summer for...
Which is why when the vote comes around, we've got to turn out in record numbers and just get them all
Yes.
out of there. We've just got to do that.
It's going to be a record summer for hard seltzer. That's what they're saying. Hard seltzer, record summer for hard
Summer
seltzer.
of hard seltzer?
Yeah, it's going to be, wherever you are not going to be
But I
able to
don't like
escape
hard
seltzer.
seltzer.
Sorry, that's too bad. You're going to be drinking hard seltzer this summer.
Hard seltzer tastes like something that used to have ice in it that melted, and you're drinking it anyway. Like, well, it's all watered down, but I guess I'll...
Well, I guess you're out of step with the rest of America then, Ms.
guess.
Barberry, because hard seltzer is what's in.
I've tried a bunch of them, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah. Well, Big Seltzer's going to make sure that they're going to try and shove their seltzer down your throat.
Listen, if Big Seltzer wants to advertise on this show, I'll be 100% behind it.
But you might want to try.
I won't tell you that it makes me fill up too much
Yeah.
and burp and all of
Gets
that.
me bloaty.
Yeah, I won't tell you that. I'll say it's refreshing.
But you might want to try it on your Little Debbie's Kellogg's Little Debbie's cereal.
Seltzer?
Long awaited.
I saw this in the
awaited. Yeah.
store and I should have bought it. Oh.
Long awaited. They've been talking about doing it for a long time. Little Debbie's Cosmic Brownie cereal. It's finally available in stores. The cereal comes after the release of Little Debbie's Oatmeal Cream Pie cereal last year, and it's available in 2 sizes. You can get a big box of it as well. We are very excited to see one of our most loved Little Debbie products, Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies, transformed into a cereal by Kellogg, said Jeff Badger, Vice President of Marketing at McKee Foods. The cereal delivers the flavor of Little Debbie's Cosmic Brownies in a fun new way. Try it with hard seltzer, he
I
said.
don't know. I don't think that would be...
No, he didn't say that at all. So then, coming up in the boners, I don't remember if it's round 1 or round 2, Little Debbie's Caper. There's a Little Debbie's Caper going on.
A caper?
A caper, yeah. A crime wave involving Little Debbie's cakes.
My goodness.
So you got to be careful. All right.
Sports weather traffic.
Well, I was kind of hoping that our friend Amy Donaldson would be on the show today because I'm curious what her thoughts are on Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open because they threatened to her with expulsion because she said she didn't want to talk to the press.
She's very insecure, and it causes her psychological trauma to do that.
And these press conferences at this particular event, these guys are they're dicks.
Well, and
Every
if you
year.
remember, when she beat Serena Williams a couple of years ago, and everyone was upset because they wanted Serena to win, and who is she to come in, and it was traumatizing for her. And what I wanted to ask Amy is, why can't you just go play tennis? And
Yeah. Why do you have to speak to the press?
Well, because every major sporting, organization, they require of their players a certain amount of press availability. NBA does it, the NFL does it. I mean, you think the coach likes talking to a sideline reporter as he's running to the locker room? No.
No, I know they're required, but I'm saying, why is it a big deal if an athlete says, I have anxiety, I am a tennis player, I'm not a professional person to be interviewed, I don't do well with it, I can't do
the
that.
rules of professional tennis, one of them is you have to make yourself available to the press, and if you don't, you get fined. And she said, okay, and they fined her, and she said, then I'm going to have to withdraw from the tournament. So
and the interesting thing is that Piers Morgan was just trolling her, wrote a whole thing about it.
Yeah, I thought maybe
how
that'd be
terrible she
boner,
was.
too.
But then somebody trolled Piers Morgan, reminding him, "You literally stormed off of your job because a guy called you out on something.
It got uncomfortable, and you left.
You left because of it. You got no room to talk about her."
Really, if the professional tennis organization was smart, they would say, we still want to require that you do this, but we understand, and we are we want to help you. We want to get you professional help so that you can learn to deal with this, and let's work together to make sure that this is not a problem for you.
You know what they could do is, and actually in her statement she put out, she's like, and I don't want the journalists to be upset with what I'm saying. Some of you are really cool, and some of you I get along with. Couldn't an accommodation be for Naomi when we pick one journalist that she's comfortable with, and they go to a separate room away from everything, and it's just a one-on-one something.
There's a way they can work it out.
I think she doesn't realize that it's the summer of hard seltzer.
If someone would just tell her.
If she
Had I known.
she could get excited about that, and
Could we get her on the phone?
Would be gone.
Let her know.
It's a big summer for hard seltzer. That's all I know.
The Jazz, let's see, they're doing great. They lead the series 3-1, and they play. They'll wrap this up with the Grizzlies tomorrow at 7:30. That is a Utah game. So, Bill, you'll be going because you're.
I'm on the bandwagon.
You're on the bandwagon now.
okay.
So.
Is that where the bandwagon is going?
Yes, it'll be
Okay.
headed to the Vivint.
Okay, I'm
tomorrow
on the bandwagon. So.
At 7:30. And holy cow, how about summer? You ready for that? Why can't we just hover in the low, 80s for a while? Why do we have to go up? By Friday, we could be 98 degrees by Friday.
Wow, really?
That's awful warm. Can't we ease into summer? Summer's
we
not
have been.
It's June 1st. It's like,
Well, it's
98 is a July temp, not a June temp. Come on.
Okay.
Let's see if we have any traffic for you. We've got crash northbound Bangor Highway at westbound I-80. This is on the right shoulder. That's the only thing UDOT's telling me about, and I believe that's the same incident a friend of the program sent in. Yeah, it's, let's see, crash Bangor to I-80 West. Big slowdown. Thank you. Actually, a couple different people have sent that one in. Nice of you to do that. We appreciate it. If you see something and it's safe for you to text us, you can send it in at 33986. For a limited time, get a professional AC or furnace tune-up for only $29 with Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Call 801-264-HALE.
All right. We will take a break. We will be back with round one of your boners and big boy news and all of that on the way. Tracy Aviary.
Now, we have not been together in 439 days in the same room with each other at all. But this Friday, Carrie, Bill, Gina, Katie will all be at Tracy
No, not
Aviary.
Katie.
Oh,
Katie
Katie will
won't
be
be.
working,
Katie's
running the
gonna be
board.
right there, yeah.
Well, you'll get to meet Jake then. That'll be fun. So we will be at Tracy Aviary doing our show starting at 6 a.m. You can come down at, I think, 8 a.m. is when they said, and join us at Tracy Aviary.
Yeah, they're usually open 9 to 5. They're going to open early for us. And adult admission $11.95, children $7.95, infants 2 and under are free.
This is a perfect time to come and enjoy Tracy Aviary. If you don't know where it is, it's located at Liberty Park near 13th South and 6th East. And it's a great place, and we enjoy doing a show there every year. And we'll be back this Friday if you want to come and see us at Tracy Aviary.
Here's what Bill Allred is thinking when he's not on the air.
Gotta think up some new features for Radio from Hell. Spice the show up. Maybe we could do a top 10 list. Now, every morning show has ripped that idea off from Letterman. What about bringing back that character I used to do? PBA bowling champ Wayne Zahn. God, no. That was stupid then, and it'd be stupid now. What about a character who can read minds or predict the future? No. That's too much like Karnak. Double time checks might make things sound snappier. It's 7:27, 27 minutes after 7. Geez, that's stupid. God, I just know I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Here's what Kerry Jackson is thinking when he's not on the air.
Oh, we gotta start working on this new Space Elders bit for this fall. And maybe we should call it Elders in Space. No, that's too much like pigs in space. Space Elders, that's it. Man, it's going to take a lot of production, music, and sound effects. Good acting jobs by Bill and Chungo, which is next to impossible. Maybe I'll ask the janitor to do a role, even he'd be better than those guys. Man, this Space Elders is going to take a lot of work, but it's really going to spice up the show when we get it going. Man, I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Here's what Jimmy Chunga is thinking when he's not on the air.
Pudding, chocolate pudding, vanilla pudding, butterscotch pudding, rice pudding, tapioca. Oh man, I love pudding. Jello pudding pops, chocolate and vanilla pudding swirled together. Oh, pudding. Oh, pudding. I'd kill everyone in this room for one spoonful of sweet, sweet pudding.
X96, radio from hell.
704.
We were talking about the Tracy Aviary. So I went to find some further information at x96.com, and there's a picture of us there. It says, join Radio from Hell at Tracy Aviary, and it looks like Gina is, they've put her picture, on the body of a flamingo. Carrie, I think they put your head on the, is that a hawk, I think? Maybe.
Some kind of bird, I don't know.
Or is it or a robin? And then I think, I don't know, is that a penguin?
That's
is that
a penguin, I'm guessing.
I get hawks and robins mixed up all the time. It's easy.
But it says, join Radio from Hell, June 4th, that's this Friday, at Tracy Aviary. We're excited to be together. We'll be broadcasting from 6 to 10. Tracy Aviary will be offering a special discount.
Ah, there we go.
For X96 listeners with 2-for-1 admission all day.
Perfect.
All day.
If you just use the promo code X96 at tracyaviary.com when checking out, or mention X96 when you're buying your tickets at the gate. 2-for-1. Offer
Nice.
is valid Friday, June 4th only, and you can enter to win a free annual membership for a family of 4.
Oh,
So you can come and see us and see over 400 birds, 135 different species.
It's a tranquil oasis in the city, it says.
So, and maybe we can get Tim Brown, the curator there at the aviary, to tell us what the 2 birds are that Carrie and what are those? I'm not sure what
I'm
those.
fancy. I'm a flamingo.
Barts.
My knees bend backwards.
So you can remain seated?
Yeah.
I would have picked a bird that remained seated.
A nesting bird of
A
some
nesting
sort.
bird, yeah.
A roosting bird, yeah. So, flamingos aren't naturally pink.
Nope.
It's because they eat the shrimp.
They eat shrimps. So if you don't feed them the shrimps, and
Shrimps.
they're just they're kind of plain.
You know, so I've told you about the owl at my farm. I got an owl.
Oh, I
living
didn't
in the
know you had
tree.
an owl there.
Yeah, there's a rookery.
A what?
A rookery.
That's where a lot of rooks are.
Nesting birds nest and making their home in a rookery.
Yeah.
And but and I love having the owl because they'll eat the mice and stuff.
You gotta let him loose in the house.
And there's all kinds of pellets at the bottom of this big pine tree that he lives in. The pellets are what they're like the bones of the mice and things he eats, and then
Oh, and the owl poop?
yeah, and the owl, they poop them out, and so I got a bunch of those. But for some reason, he was hanging out on our deck
Oh, no.
over the last week, and so owls are big birds, right?
Yeah.
You know what
Some of them.
what the other kind of owl poop is? Because it's not just the pellets; it's just big old white bird poop
Yeah.
that does not want to come off my deck. Huge owl scat everywhere.
Get a bunch of those pellets and bring them down to the aviary because they sell those there.
You think I could be their supplier for
So
pellets?
it's like your Etsy shop for owl pellets.
There you go.
They sell them for, I don't know how much they are. They're not real expensive. So that you can, it's just kind of exciting, and they're sterile, It's exciting for kids especially to get them in and open them up and see.
Because they're like they'll be little mousy skulls and little mousy bodies.
Yeah. So if you got a bunch of
Okay,
them,
I'll gather them
This
up.
could be more lucrative than the Christmas trees that you're allegedly growing up there.
Could be. Think about it, Gina.
You could be the owl pellet queen of northern Utah.
That's your sign-off, Gina.
Okay, owl pellet.
I'm the owl pellet queen.
And thank you. I brought it all. I was trying to bring it all the way around to Utah Word
To
of the
Utah
Day.
Word.
Is what I was trying
I
to
see.
do.
So, yeah. Is this sponsored, or should we just...
No, I do have a sponsor for it.
Okay.
Because Bill Frost isn't here, so we have to use his sponsor. Don't settle for lame TV and slow internet. Let CableTV.com guide you to the best cable, satellite, streaming, and internet services near you. Visit CableTV.com today.
Katie, this is where you hit the button.
Al. Spell it with me now. A-L. Al. And now we'll use it in some dialogue with our friends LeVar and LeGrand. Today, the boys are out in the woods hunting with their California friend, Chip. A conversation ensues.
Hey, nice of you guys to bring me on the deer hunt. I've never had a chance to do this.
Never been hunting before, huh, Chip? Well, why am I not surprised? You'll notice that the rest of us, Chip, are wearing a highly visible flame orange attire. Now, while very colorful and attractive, your Hawaiian shirt ain't what I'd call appropriate.
It's kind of like hunting with Magnum P.I. You ever been in the great outdoors at all, Mr. Selleck?
I've been to the Grunion Run in Long Beach.
Well, we're not talking about sissy boys in their running shorts here, Chip. We're talking about hunting, fishing, manly sports.
Yeah, manly sports. Hunting, fishing.
I free climbed Half Dome at Yosemite last summer.
Oh, fine. You climbed up some rocks at some Bugs Bunny theme park or something. You ever bagged a 4-point? You ever bagged it and tagged it and gutted it in a blinding snowstorm?
With a real bad earache and a wooden leg?
You don't have a wooden leg.
Well, with a bad earache and while you're half drunk.
LeVar, have you been drinking? I've told you I do not approve of drinking, and certainly not drinking while we're on the hunt.
Of course, you know why he's upset, don't you, Chip? It's the old story, why you should always take more than one of the elders like LeGrand here hunting with you. Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer.
Real funny, LeVar.
I don't get it.
Well, Chip, you see...
What's that?
What?
That.
Oh, Al.
That can't be Al. Al's back at camp.
Sure, it ain't the camp Al. I'll bet it's a different Al.
What? How could there be another Al? Especially way out here in the woods.
Well, the camp owl was probably a born owl. Now this one sounds like a horned owl.
And now I know that joke about all you Utahns have horns. Al has horns.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. These fetching Californians seem to have their own language, you know?
Huh.
That's an old one. That's a real old one.
I didn't recognize any of the people in that. I don't know who any of those people
that
were.
Third person was Norman Church.
That's really old.
That's really old.
Was it really?
Yeah. That's how old that one is. Because that was back when we produced them, you know, all the sound effects.
Yeah.
And everything.
You said old, I went old.
Boy,
yeah,
I'll say.
no, that's good.
Well, it's and now we can expect to hear from Norman Church because he'll be demanding some sort of payment. Don't I get a residual on that?
If
Come
only.
on.
If only we got residuals.
Yeah.
All right.
Used to do sound effects and everything.
Yeah, it's back when we cared.
Exactly. And then we suddenly realized that y'all didn't care either, so...
No.
Well, why put in the effort then?
Yeah, if you don't
No,
care, we
I've-
don't care.
I've told this story many, many times. I would spend hours producing a Space Elders episode.
Mm-hmm.
We'd play the Space Elders episode the next morning, and what was everyone talking about afterward? How Gina wouldn't let her dog walk on the tile. That was what they were talking about. Not a word about all, and that's when I threw up my hands and said, "Screw it. You know, I'm not gonna overproduce these sketches anymore."
And they
don't
were
appreciate sound
overproduced.
effects.
They were overproduced.
They were overproduced. I'll admit it. I was in a weird headspace, and I had to have the right sound effects. I had to have the right, you know. Anyway, all right, traffic, Gina, please.
Yeah, a bunch of you have been texting in about this issue on I-80 westbound. Somebody says traffic backed up on I-80 westbound from 5600 west almost to Wright Brothers Drive. So big slowdowns there. That's the only accident, though, that UDOT's telling me about, or that you're telling me about. You're all talking about the same thing. So if there's anything else, and it's safe for you to text us, you can always send that in at 33986. For a limited time, get a professional AC or furnace tune-up for only $29 with Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Call 801-264-HALE.
All right. We will take a break. We will be back with Boners Round 1 coming up after these. What do we got?
I just got finished putting those in. Let's see. Boner candidate number 1 will be leave the little church alone. Boner candidate number 2, give him a break. He was going to Florida. Boner candidate number 3. Yeah, that mask mandate, it's just like the yellow star.
Yeah. All right. We got round 1 of your boners, big boy news, all coming up after these. Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPESvision.com is the website.
Daily struggle having to deal with glasses and contact lenses. It gets so tiring. So you don't have to do that anymore. You go to Hoops Vision and you get this fast, easy, painless LASIK procedure.
We can, Hoops can take care of that, pain of, the glasses and everything. But one thing that Hoops cannot do is the phantom glass motion that you will have for about 2 months after you get your eyes done. You'll continue to reach up for glasses that do not exist.
So step into visual freedom, will you? I've done it. Carrie's done it. Most of our family members have. Schedule a VIP consultation with Hoops Vision today, and you can save $800 on LASIK or PRK. Now, you schedule your VIP consultation at 877-30-LASIK, LASIK, 877-30-LASIK, or you can book it online, too, at hoopsvision.com.
We're going to wrap things up with Ask a CG Artist here real quick. I'm going to put you on the spot. You say you had a friend who's worked on the Thor movie.
He is, by the way, John Patrick Rooney, who is a CG artist, works out of L.A., but here to visit family.
Yep.
And your friend did the animation of the Destroyer.
More so modeling and texturing, not
the animation.
The animation of it.
But he helped build the character. The Destroyer is like this giant...
In what movie
in
is
Thor.
Oh.
He's like this giant killer robot.
Just coming out this summer.
That destroys a town.
He also did, it's my roommate, and he did the hammer for Thor that you see at the end of Iron Man and this one as well.
Do you guys have girlfriends?
Sometimes.
Listen, with all the dough they're pulling down?
No, I asked because, they are
boyfriends.
Or boyfriends.
No, no boyfriends.
Listen,
they're on the computer.
You
all
take a girl.
day.
You take a girl to Iron Man 2, and you say, "Wait till the end. Wait till the end." And when that hammer shows up, you say, "I did that." You're in.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying it sounds like they are chained to a computer a lot of the time.
I have to say, I've had one relationship go south because I was working.
That's all I'm saying.
It was a good Ogden girl too, living in L.A.
A good Ogden girl.
Good. I know.
There's no such thing.
In a good in a bad way.
Yeah,
right.
Bad in a good.
Bad in a good way. That's all.
Good Ogden girl. Let's see. Quick software question from Nick. Let's see. Go ahead, Nick.
Thanks for letting me listen.
Yeah.
Maya, I guess, is the standard. How does 3D Max compare?
3D Max is a standard for a lot of things, a lot of car commercials and things like that, and video games use 3D Max, but more and more Maya is becoming more of a standard. I hate modeling in 3D Max. It drives me nuts.
Now, you were saying that if I were just to buy the Maya program, it was how much again?
I'm not sure, but it's like over 1,000.
Over 1,000?
Almost
1,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Almost what?
4,000.
Almost 4,000.
Well, 3,999.
That's almost
close. Yeah.
Almost.
It sounds to me like if this is what you're gonna do, it might be worth it to invest in that.
Yeah.
All right.
You can use those programs if you go to a school. They have them available.
This is true, and I know even up at the U they have those programs available. And it's all part of your fees. So.
Here's a question. Without getting too political, how is your health insurance as an independent contractor?
It's a bottle of Advil.
Somebody wants to know, where's my holodeck?
Yeah, that was my next question. Where's my damn holodeck?
Yeah, I'm working on it. So,
all right.
Any requests?
And here's the final question, which I think is the best one. This is: do you have to be good at math?
No, you don't.
Perfect.
But I've used sometimes I've used some trigonometry and like
don't you need
scripts
that
and
for,
things like
for
that.
architecture? Don't you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
sort of.
Trigonometry.
If people want to see some of the stuff, is there a place that people can go? Do you have a website where they can see your demo?
You know, I have my demo reel on Vimeo, but it's just you can go ahead and email me at johnpatrickrooney@gmail.com, and I will send you an email with some info.
John Patrick Rooney, Irish?
Yes.
Oh. Irish question mark?
John Patrick Rooney @gmail.com.
St. Patrick's Day Parade Saturday, you know.
Right, I'll stop by.
All right.
Listen to Radio from Hell at home when you first wake up. Oh. Yeah. Just tell your smart speaker to play X96.
Let's see, 7:21 right now. And it is time for round one of your boner voting. Here we go. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. We'll do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We'll get another winner there. We'll take the winner of each round, put them together. You'll decide who boner of the day is for today at 9:20 this morning. That's when boner fight happens. Right now, you got to pick one of these 3 from this round 1 to send forward to the Boner Dome. 2 candidates now. A third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a pair of tickets for Tracy Aviary. Join Radio from Hell June 4th at Tracy Aviary from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tracy Aviary is the perfect spot, not just for families, but for dates or great spring and summer fun where you can stay close to home and stay distanced. Details at x96.com.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Leave the little church alone. Ogden, Utah. The Potter's House Christian Center in Ogden is facing thousands of dollars in repair costs after being the target of vandalism on 3 separate occasions, each of the 3 attacks happening in the span of less than 1 month. The first incident happened on April 25th, said Austin Schmidt, the church's assistant pastor. We were having a wedding that Sunday morning. We walked into all of our windows being shattered out. Lawn chairs from the park had been thrown through the windows. After the first attack in April, the church installed security cameras around the building, and usually how that goes, you install them and it never happens again, Schmidt said. But he said the added security cost the church around $1,000. Unfortunately, it did happen again. I think May 19th, he said. A group of kids came and just threw rocks from the park through the windows. They knew they were on camera, and they did it anyway. The latest bout of vandalism came just 11 days later on May 30th. Before we could even get that one replaced, windows were smashed out again. So as you can see, Schmidt said, it's getting costly, and it's like time to, figure this out. Based on the security camera footage, he believes all 3 instances were caused by the same group of kids. It's pretty sad to see it happen this way, but hopefully they turn their lives around, he said. Potter's house is working with Ogden police to put an end to the vandalism, but the church released some of the surveillance footage on their Facebook page with the hope that somebody in the community would recognize the kids and turn them in. People are reaching out saying, I know that person. I got a really good idea who that is, and so we appreciate the help. So far, though, we have not been able to identify who it is. The damage has cost over $2,000 at this point. Just leave the little church in Ogden alone. Boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. Oh, give him a break. He was going to Florida. A Southwest Airlines pilot has been given community service after pleading guilty to exposing his genitals to a female first officer and then watching porn on a flight to Florida. Michael Hack expressed remorse for the actions before he was sentenced to 1 year of unsupervised probation and a $5,000 fine. Mr. Hack said it initially started as a prank, and then it went horribly wrong.
Don't you want your pilot to be professional and not pulling pranks?
Give him a break. He was going to Florida. After reaching altitude, he got out of his seat, disrobed, and began watching pornographic material on his laptop in the cockpit.
As a prank.
It's a prank that went wrong. Now, while this was going on, the first officer continued her duties. Mr. Hack was charged in April with intentionally committing a lewd, indecent, or obscene act. He's been a pilot for 27 years. I think the prank was, you see, she would come in,
I don't know,
and there I was, naked, watching it. It'd be funny.
I don't know. Okay.
He says he offers no excuses and accepts responsibility. Give him a break. He was going to Florida. Boner candidate. Going to Florida. Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. You know, that mask mandate, that's just like the Yellow Star.
Exactly. All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Moochie's would like to thank their loyal customers for supporting their locally owned and operated business. Moochie's has been voted Best of Utah for over 17 years. Dine-in, delivery, and pickup available.
Well, I think it seems to be the case that Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are
adorable,
stable, adorable couple in Hollywood. They met in 2008, got married in 2010. They share 2 daughters. They're evidently completely obsessed with one another. I mean, you know, they see. So
what's the problem?
It seems that not everybody's convinced of their love story. Amy Schumer said, I went to see A Quiet Place too. It was really good. I loved every second of it. Even better than the first one, which blew me away, she wrote. Amazing to be in a movie theater again as well. And then she went on to say that John and Emily's relationship was just a relationship for the sake of publicity.
What?
Yep.
You mean a comedian made a joke.
Although I've said for a long time I think Emily and John have a pretend marriage for publicity, but I still think you should see it, this movie, this rainy day weekend. I think she's trying to be funny.
She's a comedian saying it's a joke.
I think she's trying to be funny and making a joke that they don't
really
when they obviously...
Because they're just too perfect.
Yeah.
I see.
Too perfect, so she's trying to... Yeah.
I'm glad that they both have finally addressed all the geeks who have been begging them to be 2 members of the Fantastic Four. You know, Reed
Richards, I can see that.
Storm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Geeks were begging for that to happen, and they both have said, no, we're not going to do that. And I say, you say that now, but when Disney backs that truck up full of money and dumps it in your driveway, you might change your mind.
John Krasinski, by the way, said of Amy Schumer's tweet, "Thank you, Amy, for blowing up our whole marriage spot. It is, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just a sham.
It's good for business.
Yeah, it's good for business. Let's see. The half of the United States is now at least partially vaccinated. That's good news.
Good.
But there is still more work to be done to keep the next holiday safe from COVID-19. It's great news that people can see their friends. They feel comfortable to travel because they're vaccinated, said William Hasseltine, a former Harvard Medical School professor. The bad news is if you're not vaccinated, you're still at risk, and your risk is about as high as it was before. Crowds flocked to beaches and bars over the weekend, a sight that experts said was less concerning now that the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports 50.5% of the population has received at least one dose of vaccine. 40.7% are fully vaccinated. It feels close to normal, said Santa Monica, California resident Bob Alfera, and it's nice to see people really in a good mood. I hope that continues.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling, of course, stark contrast to a year ago. It was grim, and people are starting to come out of their shells, and at least 16 states, next month, 16 states have, this month, 16 states have rolled back their, some of their plans to reopen. Oh, that was 16 months. It was last year at this time. States were they were saying, okay, we're fine, and then everybody realized they weren't fine, and so they even California now though that had one of the most restrictive rollbacks. They're opening up. Disneyland, I think, now has civilians, not just Californians, but people from out of state going there now.
If it's not today, it's like by mid-month. I know.
Mandatory evacuations were issued Monday for a wildfire in Heber City. Those evacuations have been lifted. The Little Pole fire started near Little Pole Canyon just after 3 p.m. Authorities believe it was human-caused, a controlled burn that got out of hand. The Wasatch County Fire District said 8 to 10 structures were threatened by the fire. There were some evacuations that were mandatory, issued for some homes, but that order has been lifted because the fire is under control. They're planning on, so there's been plans for a big landfill out by the shores of the Great Salt Lake.
Fun!
And bad news, but not much else continues to pile up for this controversial landfill near the shores of the Great Salt Lake. A review commissioned by the Utah Division of Waste Management and Radiation Control found Promontory Point Resources has failed once again to make a convincing case that Utah needs another large landfill importing other states' garbage.
Yeah, no, not other garbage, just
and other
our
states'
garbage.
Radioactive garbage.
No.
Exactly.
The findings mark a significant blow for PPR in its second attempt to secure a Class 5 permit that would allow it to stockpile trash from other places like California and Idaho. The company's landfill in Box Elder County long has held a Class 1 permit, which means it already can take waste from local governments, but PPR has not managed to sign any contracts at this point. There's big money, I guess, in storing garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And pretty soon we'll run out of storage. And then
we still have
it
Nevada.
Go? Yeah, we got all that desert land out there.
Stick it in Nevada.
You know that great salt dome that they built? I don't think they've ever used it. They were going to put radioactive material in this big salt cave, and I don't think they've ever put anything in there.
I don't know.
So maybe we could.
I remember
just take
reading about that. Yeah.
You just take our garbage there. And let's see, how much time do we have?
2 minutes.
All right. A candy store in Bethesda, Maryland is, it's called Chouquette, I think, Chocolates and Confections, and they're making chocolate-covered cicadas.
No thanks.
So Well, you're in the minority, though. They've been inundated
Dare
with
food,
orders
inundated with
yes.
orders for dare food.
Interestingly, all the orders are from morning radio shows across the nation.
Exactly.
Earlier this month, the Bethesda-based confectioner shared an Instagram post on how it's cooking up and sweetening cicadas, which is it's a 7-step process. According to Chouquette's instructions, the cicadas first have to be collected, of course, frozen, boiled, oiled, and then they put them in an air fryer so they get nice and crispy, and then they cover them with melted chocolate. So, what you end up with is a crunchy piece of melted chocolate, with the knowledge that there is a cicada body in there somewhere. So
again, the only reason to do that, dare food.
It's dare food, yeah.
Well, there might be another reason in that the cicadas are so plentiful.
What else are we going to do with them?
It's yeah. I mean,
we got our stunt boy Stooley. He's coming in here. We're gonna make him eat these.
We won't tell him.
We're not going to tell him.
We're not going to
tell him they're cicadas until after he's eaten them.
Hey Stooley, do you want some bugs? He doesn't know. You want some chocolate there? Yeah.
Well, if you
he did it.
If you want to, I think it's more than morning shows because they're selling a lot of these things. So if you want to get them, Chouquette is the name of the place in Maryland. Chocolate covered cicadas. We'll make Katie eat them.
No, Katie would just say no.
Yeah.
Nope, can't make me.
All right, that's it. Sports, weather, traffic.
Weather traffic. Yeah.
Warm. You'll think, wow, 86. Geez, it's warm. Oh, it's nothing compared to Friday. We'll be up around 100 by Friday. Be nice and cool today by comparison. Mostly sunny skies, it looks like. And let's see, traffic. We got to go to Beaver for a traffic incident. Looks like that one on Bangor seems to be clearing up. And you haven't sent us in any others, but you certainly can if you see something that needs to be passed along to friends of the program, and it's safe for you to text. You can send that in at 33986. For a limited time, get a professional AC or furnace tune-up for only $29 with Scott Hale. Plumbing, heating, and air. Call 801-264-HALE.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. You know, that mask mandate, that's just like those yellow stars.
No.
Stetson and other hat brands are dropping Hatworks, a Nashville hat store, which is under fire for selling a Star of David patch with the phrase, "not vaccinated," on it. People protested outside Hatworks in Edge Hill Saturday, saying using the Star of David was deeply offensive to 6 million Holocaust victims. Nazis forced Jews to wear yellow Star of David badges to identify themselves during World War II. As an American, I am outraged, said protester Kevin McGurk. I'm offended, and I have to stand here in protest. A protester said that they wanted to stand up to hate. The owner said that using the symbol to sell patches, I believe the original post said that she was selling them for $5. It just feels really disrespectful to me, said one of the
Even if she wasn't
protesters.
selling them, just the fact that they exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our hat maker, Dustin Williams, sent me this story because he said he was offered a job there at that place some time ago. And he said, I'm glad now that I didn't take the job. Now, the owner of Hatworks says, no, in no way did I intend to trivialize the Star of David.
BS.
Or depict what happened to millions of people. That's not who I am and what I stand
is
for.
who you are.
My
You did
intent was not to exploit or to make a profit. My hope was to share my genuine concern and fear and do. I think it's a woman who owns the store. She's saying, no, really, I'm afraid that that's what the government is doing by mandating masks. It's the same thing that the Jews
putting us on trains and sending us to camps.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's not.
It's not even close to the same thing.
No, not everything is like Hitler. Stop it.
So that's boner candidate number 3. The mask mandate is just like the yellow star.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, leave the little church alone. It's just a little church in Ogden. Somebody keeps busting out the windows. They can't afford this kind of thing. Let them worship in peace and happiness. Boner candidate number 2, give him a break. He was going to Florida. A pilot caught watching porn during a flight to Florida. He went into retirement, and but he said it was a prank. It was just supposed to be a funny joke.
Sure.
Yeah. And then boner candidate number 3, the mask mandate is just like the yellow star.
All right, it's time for you to vote for round 1 of your boners. This isn't boner of the day. This is round 1. You're going to pick one of these 3 to send forward to Boner Fight to possibly become boner of the day. We'll do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. Get another winner there. Then we'll take both of our winners and put them against each other at 9:20 this morning. That's when you'll vote for boner of the day. Right now, this is round 1. Send one of these 3 forward. 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text and then text that to 33986. All right? Or you can call the producer's booth at 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting June 1, 2021, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It should appear. You have until the end of these messages to do it. Let's go. It's round 1. UtahAdvocates.com.
Yeah. If you've been hurt in an accident and you don't know what to do, these are the people to call. They are personal injury attorneys, and Katie can sure attest to the fact that they will help you.
The only thing you need to know how to do is call them, because that's the whole point. You don't know. No, I mean, you don't know how to deal with insurance companies. You don't need to know. That's what the advocates are for. You call them. You get them involved as early as you can in the process. Don't wait till your bills start piling up. As soon as you can after the accident, get the advocates involved, and they can get to working on getting your bills paid, and you don't have to pay anything up front.
Nope. Speak with an experienced attorney for free. You don't pay a dime unless they take your case and then get you a settlement. So the number you call, 801-355-5550. That's 355-5550. Or if you're shy and kind of embarrassed, you can chat with an attorney online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at UtahAdvocates.com.
X96.com/live is where you can see us broadcasting live from our homes. Proof of life right there.
I just realized it's where you can see me grimacing.
Why so grimacing, Bill?
For 19 weeks, yeah.
Well, really, just today, just the last half hour or so, I never get headaches. I don't ever get a headache. It's something that never has been a problem with me. And I've got a headache. I don't.
Is it this big? Does it have Excedrin written all over it?
It's not huge, but because I never get a headache, it's like just almost unbearable. And yet I realize it's not very bad. But it's just like, oh my God.
How much water are you drinking?
Yeah, you drinking enough water?
Probably not.
That's a big one. I've been getting headaches recently because I'm not drinking enough water.
Jeez.
That's
Carrie's
not bubbly water.
That's not Carrie. That's Dr. Nick.
I have a pill that will help you, Bill.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pills that would help me are downstairs.
Oh well, okay. Gina, what were you playing with? What did you have?
Well, just so school. It starts for Jonesy tomorrow, actually.
Friday?
Yeah. Well, it's orientation day. So
okay.
And it's for all intents.
That's where orientation day is where they tell them which direction to face.
To orient yourself, right? Yeah. So it is upon us, and Muhammad starts next week, and I had ordered some of Muhammad's uniform from Land's End, And so I was getting it out of the box yesterday and getting ready to, wash some of those clothes so they can be ready for Monday. And I'm pulling all the papers out of the box. And at the bottom of the box, there's this card. And it says, I'm showing you at x96.com/live. It says a special gift for customers of Land's End, a $100 wine voucher.
Wow.
Delivery included, it says.
Well, you have to remember, Land's End is a land where grown-ups live. So.
That's what I was going to say. It's something called nakedwines.com. And I went there, and it's like a wine of the month club. You can buy cases of wine there, and I have to claim this within 30 days to get my $100 worth of wine.
Does it have states that are excluded on it?
Well, of course Utah's excluded.
Well, I think there might be a way you can do it.
No, there's no.
You sure?
You can't ship wine. You can't ship wine.
You can to the liquor store.
Yeah, how does that work now?
I think there might be a way you can have it shipped to the liquor store.
Because Pro Flowers did the same thing. They would send, thank you for your purchase, and here's, X amount of dollars at a wine store, and I could never use them. I'd send them to Drew in California, and he used them. Yeah.
Well, I posted this on Twitter, so probably somebody has stolen my codes already. I would love to know if somebody got that and is getting their $100 worth of wine. But Land's End knows what parents need when they're getting ready for school this year, and I think $100 worth of wine is a great school supply to supply for parents.
You said it's upon us. You said Catholic school is upon us. That's a Catholic holiday I'm not familiar with. What is the Catholic
Saint
holiday of
Upon
upon us? Saint upon us. What is
the
that?
patron saint of quarantines is
Saint upon us.
Yeah, so what's here? It's happening. It's school. We're doing school.
Okay.
Now, I have never ordered a case of anything from the liquor store. Never done that. And Sue told me that I should order a couple of cases of those sparkling wines in the can that Jimmy had for us last week. And so I just went, can I do that online, or do I need to go down there? I've never done that before.
I don't know for sure, but I know you can do it.
Yeah.
You probably need to go down there.
I think you have to go there.
And see,
or you might be able to online, because they could verify your they could verify your information online.
Yeah, it sounds like a question for Jimmy the wine guy next time we have him on.
Well, I can't wait that long, can I?
I need to drink now.
The weekend is coming, Gina.
And unfortunately, there's no other way to contact Jimmy other than just when he's on our show.
I know, right?
Yeah. Damnedest thing.
All right.
Follow Bill Allred on Twitter at RFHBill. This is Radio from Hell on X96.
Okay. Let's see. It's 7:47. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. Let's award round one of your boners.
Yeah, and that's brought to you in part by Tater Salad.
Tater salad?
Tater salad. It's tater salad.
That sounds like Memorial Day food.
Mm-hmm.
And feel the music as computer graphics and lasers take you for a cosmic ride. Clark Planetarium's light shows play every Friday and Saturday. Tickets available at clarkplanetarium.org.
Here we had boner candidate number one. Leave the little church alone. Poor little church in Ogden. So vandals keep busting out their windows. It's not nice. There's boner candidate number two. Give him a break. He was heading to Florida. It's a pilot caught watching porn on a flight to Florida. He got naked in the cockpit.
It's funny.
And started watching. He said it was just a prank, you see. Okay. And boner candidate number three. That mask mandate. That's just like those yellow stars. It's a hat company in... hat-making company in Texas, Tennessee.
Nashville,
Tennessee. And they the woman who runs it started selling these yellow felt stars. It's like a Star of David that said "not vaccinated" on them. She wasn't trying to, yes, she was.
She's an idiot.
Yeah. So let's see. The Tracy Aviary tickets were won by Sam. We'll see you on Friday, Sam. And the winner was boner candidate number 3. Yeah, that mask mandate. That's just like the Yellow Star.
All right, there we go. That's your winner of round 1. It now goes forward to Boner Fight. Might be Boner of the Day. Round 2 at 8:20. We'll do it again. Get another winner there. And then we'll take both winners and put them against each other. And you will vote for Boner of the Day at 9:20 this morning. That's when Boner Fight happens. All right. Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yeah, are you searching for Pokemon? Locally owned Haster Games has the best selection of Pokemon, Dungeons & Dragons, Magic, and more. Shop online at hastergames.com or visit the store. 6831 South State. Curbside service is available.
Having all kinds of level issues here. Brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. Name of the episode is 4th Grade Hamlet. All right. Yes. My dog is freaking out for some reason.
Delivery? It's a delivery guy,
I think
right?
I know
No?
why. It's the guy next door is doing something. And so, anyway.
So your dog is trying to protect you.
Yeah, well, he's doing something. He's being irritating is what he's doing. Let's see now. Here we go. Over the weekend, now there were a lot of celebrity tragedies over the weekend, right? But there was one that kind of went missed.
What?
Now, I read the headline was the voice of Hermie the Elf from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer died.
Oh, no!
So the guy, he had kind of a stuffed up...
I want to be a dentist.
Dentist, that's right. I want to be a dentist.
Well, now, Gina, I did some digging on this guy, though.
What?
He wasn't just Hermie the Elf.
Who else?
He was a very important part of my growing up.
And I
Besides
appreciate
Herbie
you
the-
saying Hermie, not Herbie, because
It's
people
not
get
Herbie.
it wrong all the
It's-
time.
Yeah, it's Hermie the Elf. So here we go. This is. I'm going to play a little audio here for
Okay.
you. All right. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this going. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble.
Get him both!
Here we go.
That man's an imposter. That man is the imposter. There can't be two Spider-Men. Let's take them both in. Hold on a second. We'll have a showdown to prove which of us is the real Spider-Man, and you can unmask the loser. That's fair enough. But no tricks.
So, yeah, he was famous.
He was the voice. His name was Paul Soles, S-O-L-E-S. So would that be Soles, do you think?
Or Souls.
Or Souls.
Yeah.
Paul Soles, Canadian voice actor. He was the voice of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in the 1967 animated series.
Well.
He died at the age of 90 over the weekend. He was also a hallmark of Canadian radio at CBC TV.
Yeah.
Here's some other things that he did. Besides Hermie the Elf, he was also the voice of Rick Jones and Bruce Banner in the Marvel Superheroes cartoon, the first actual TV series to be based on any Marvel character. He also played Stanley Lieber.
Stanley Lieber?
He played a pizza guy in the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk movie.
Wow. I hope he
What do you-
died a
wait a
wealthy
minute,
man. I hope
Gina,
he, I hope
what do you
he
mean,
made
wow?
all the money.
What do you mean, wow?
Pretty exciting.
No, it's not.
But anyway, I just thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, Hermie the Elf. So I looked into this Amazon buying MGM Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And
See
that's
if you
really...
could give him a better price, or
Well, I was trying to figure out what it meant. Because I thought it was, well, Amazon's trying to be Netflix or something, or like Disney Plus, so they buy all this stuff to put on their service to get people to go there.
Yeah.
But really it's about the IP. It's not necessarily about trying to compete with these streaming services. It's
Yeah.
about what MGM owns.
Such as?
Well, I mean, RoboCop, Silence of the Lambs, Stargate, Tomb Raider, Pink Panther, The Handmaid's Tale, things like that. Now, apparently, the Broccoli family is going to fight with them about who really owns James Bond.
The who?
Cubby Broccoli, the producer and his daughter after he died.
His daughter, he's long gone, but his daughter is going to fight Amazon about who really is owning James Bond or not, because Bezos thought he was just buying it without a problem. But the Broccoli family is like, maybe not so much. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. All right. Kevin Feige from Marvel Studios. It's a little late, but he's apologizing. For casting in Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange movie. Now, you remember Tilda Swinton played the Ancient One.
Yeah.
And in the comics, the Ancient One is a Tibetan man.
Okay.
So they thought that they would, cast Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
And have a non-binary character as opposed to a stereotypical wise old Asian dude.
I thought it was a cool.
They thought that they were doing the right thing, and now Kevin Feige, he says, we thought we were being so smart and so cutting edge. We're not going to do the cliche old wise Asian man. We thought, well, let's try to do it something differently, and maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have cast. He says we should have cast an Asian actor. And just had it, just not be a stereotypical type thing, but cast an Asian actor. So he says, I think we kind of screwed up there. I don't know. We'll see. The Powerpuff Girls TV show, live action version, they made a pilot, because this is going to be the cartoons grown up, but it's a live action show. These are the Powerpuff Girls all grown up, and they've cast it and everything. They did a pilot, and it stunk. And so the CW said, we're not taking this one, but we're not firing you. Go back to the drawing board and try it again. Okay. So you're going to have to wait on that.
How long will that take?
Quite a while.
I can't wait.
They got to start all over again. And then finally this is interesting. I've not seen the original movie Space Jam, to which I get a lot of, what? I've not seen.
You're not a sports person.
But I'm a Bugs Bunny person, so you'd think that would be enough. But I never got around to seeing it. Okay. Well, I'm going to watch it coming up June 20th, because what's going to happen is it's the cast of Teen Titans Go, in character, are going to watch the original Space Jam movie.
So that's how you're going to watch
and
it.
They're going to Mystery Science Theater it.
That's right up your alley, Carrie. That's the way to do it.
Here's the plot. Astonished to discover his fellow Titans have never seen Space Jam, Cyborg organizes an exclusive watch party. Of course, if the Titans are watching a movie, don't expect silence to be golden. Raven and Starfire provide the commentary. Cyborg presents fun facts. Beast Boy points out butt shots. And it's going to be called, let me find the title, Mystery Titans Theater Go. Premieres on Cartoon Network June 20th.
I didn't understand a single word of what you just said.
I know you did not. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not for you.
It's not. Well, and that's just it. This Carrie, is for you and other people who have been ridiculed for not seeing Space Jam. So it's not. It's very specific.
Might as well have been speaking a foreign language.
All right. Traffic, please.
Let's see. I think people are, maybe still out of town. I don't know, because traffic seems to be moving pretty well. A little bit of slowage northbound I-15 through Murray coming into South Salt Lake, and then a little more as you come into downtown. But no accidents to report, and you haven't sent any to me. Let me check our message stream here quickly. No, but if you do see something, you can always send it in, only if it's safe for you to do that, though, please. 33986. Feel the music as computer graphics and lasers take you for a cosmic ride. Clark Planetarium's light shows play every Friday and Saturday. Tickets are available at clarkplanetarium.org.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Here we go. Boners round 2. Oh, no, that's coming up, right?
No, that's coming up.
Yeah, okay.
we got a bit to go.
I was hoping that we could just compress some time.
I was hoping that Dave would be coming in to finish the week.
Dave?
Where's Dave? Is Dave the flower guy ready?
Oh, we'll probably see Dave. He'll come to the aviary.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Okay.
All right. And now a message from the Department of Workforce Services here in Utah.
Yes. Excuse me. Department of Workforce Services.
There's jobs. Jobs. Get one.
Okay. That's what they wanted you to say is jobs, 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 get one.
Well, they wanted you to say visit jobs.utah.gov to learn about the virtual job fair.
That's really the virtual job fair or career fair, June 3rd from 10 to 1 p.m. These have been very successful. Hundreds of employers statewide have joined Workforce Services in Utah's 11 colleges and universities to host this event, and the best part, you can attend from home. You just register by going to jobs.utah.gov, register for the job fair or job event. It's June 3rd. There'll be 5 pavilions. There'll be all kinds of college and university work, all kinds of jobs. Go to jobs.utah.gov. It's not a big deal, but I guarantee you, Gina, if today were the day you were going to court at 8:15, you would not have come to work.
It's true.
You wouldn't have come to work.
That's true.
I would too.
I don't think you would have.
You would have said, I got court. And we'd say, when? And you'd go, I don't know. And that'd be it, you know.
I'm not sure.
You wouldn't come in.
Court sometime.
I got court sometime. I don't know.
On another topic, a totally different topic. Yesterday, we went to lunch at the Lone Star Steakhouse in Sugar House with the staff, and Gina was there with her baby, and I was the little Jonesy, who's almost a year old and just as cute as anything, and I was the only person at the table who made the baby cry.
Well, she's my daughter. She knows you make me cry
everybody
day.
Everybody else is going doobie playing with the baby and being cute
Gina,
with the baby.
that doesn't work because I didn't make her cry.
That's true.
And I've made you cry.
That's true.
On the radio.
I went and sat down by the baby to, just kind of bonding. Hi, it's your Uncle Bill. Cried.
Even Artie Fufkin didn't make her cry.
No, I thought for sure Artie was going to make her cry.
Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby.
He did that for like 10
minutes. And kept waving his hand.
He said, don't eat trans fats or you'll end up looking like me.
Even Artie didn't make the baby cry.
Artie could have picked the baby up and placed the baby in his mouth, and the baby wouldn't have cried. The whole head, and the baby wouldn't have cried.
I think it's your facial hair. Might make you look scary. I'm just guessing.
Was I the only one there with facial hair?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Heather. Just kidding, Heather.
She hasn't experienced a lot of facial hair. Maybe.
I don't know.
And then I brought her over to you later. Like, it's safe with mommy holding you kind of thing. And I gave Bill a hug. See, he's nice.
She didn't cry then, but she was barely holding it.
She had the face.
Barely holding it together.
She had the
you could see
face.
she was just like any second she was just going to.
It was the face.
We were there for 2 hours, and she was good the whole time we were there. I didn't have to get up and walk around with her once.
Are you surprised?
No, but...
Are you bragging?
Yes.
Okay. So she's like that all the time. You're just bragging.
Yes.
Yeah. And she didn't do that once, does she usually? Well, no. Well, wow.
She ate all kinds of things for lunch I didn't eat. She had tomatoes. She ate the tomatoes off my salad and my onions.
Did not.
And then, she ate all my onions, and then I picked onions.
She really ate onions?
Yeah. Loves onions. And I said, Carrie, you can eat that onion?
Here.
But she doesn't have teeth.
She has 4.
That onion even had blue cheese dressing on it,
Yeah.
Gina, which is something else that you wouldn't eat.
Well, now that says a lot to me, and because when I sat down by the baby, and maybe this is why she cried, I went, "Hi, honey. God, your breath stinks." That's why she cried. That's why she cried.
You listen to Radio from Hell in your car, but listen at home too. Tell your smart speaker to play X96.
All right, 8:05 right now.
So I got caught up with the Friends reunion show over the Memorial holiday.
You and most of the internet.
Yeah.
Was Matthew Perry really out of it?
So here's the thing about Matthew Perry. God bless him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was out of it. I think he's had some major dental work done, which happens to a lot of people that have a lot of drug problems. And sometimes when you have a lot of dental work done, it's hard to. It sounds like you're slurring your words, like you're stoned or something. But it's. I think he's sober. I think he just. I mean, he looked terrible. But I think from what I understand...
So he looked terrible and he was slurring his words, but it was probably because of dental problems.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really think that's what... I didn't get a sense that he was out of it. I got a sense that he was really nervous about being there. He knows everybody knows about his drug problems.
Yeah.
He's embarrassed. And my guess is he's the one that they were waiting for to get it together so they could do this reunion. Like the rest of them were fine. He has struggled over the years, and I think he's finally to a point where okay, we can do this, and we can have Matthew Perry there, but he's not the same. He's been not kind to himself. And
are they all the same except for him?
Like personality wise, I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, David Schwimmer looks exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't changed at all. And, you know, it's been 17 years since the show went off.
Do they show clips?
Oh, yeah. They showed clips. They showed... They actually, I find it interesting when they talk to, probably other people don't care about it so much, but when they talk to the creators of the show, how they came up with it, how they did the casting. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. They built that show around David Schwimmer, which is kind of surprising. You don't think of him as being...
Yeah, to me, he wasn't the lead. He wasn't the star.
Well, and they said we never wanted there to be a lead. We wanted it to be an ensemble.
And I think
cast.
they did that quite well. There really was not a, you know, they all had their moments.
But I guess David Schwimmer had been doing, you know, knocking around Hollywood for a while, and kind of gave up on it and went, yeah, like
me,
that.
David Schwimmer. Hey.
And kind of went back, said, I'm done with this, and went back to Chicago, I think, to do stage plays. And they called him and said, no, we wrote this pilot, and it's for you. You got to come back. You wouldn't think he was the one that a show would be built around.
No, I would have thought it would be Matt LeBlanc.
We got to catch some of that David Schwimmer heat.
So yes, so he was the one that didn't. He almost didn't make it into the show, I think.
No, he was the first one. No. So they cast David Schwimmer first, and then they cast Lisa Kudrow, which they were looking for that character, and they said we auditioned, you know, tons of these girls trying to be hippies, and then someone said, you know who Phoebe is? She's Ursula on Mad About You. Now, Ursula was a waitress on Mad About You. You know, that Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt thing.
Was it Phoebe?
No, but if you remember, Ursula was Phoebe's twin sister. They decided, they're like, we can't just steal. Okay.
So you're saying that Mad About You and Friends are in the same universe?
Yes!
Oh.
So they're like, that character of Ursula and that actress, that's who we want for Phoebe. But we can't. But so they made her a twin sister.
Okay.
Which I thought was.
Oh. Well. Did they reveal that any of them had superpowers at all?
Is that what happens on a reunion show?
Well,
the thing that exploded though about this Friends reunion was the Matt LeBlanc is an Irish uncle or something like that.
Because he sat with his arms folded the whole time.
Now, so the girls are all thin and they've had whatever, work done, needed to keep them looking young.
Yeah.
And David Schwimmer looked great. And then Matt LeBlanc looks like what most men who were hot 17 years ago and have aged 17 years look like. He's a little overweight. He's still a handsome guy. He just looks older. And he seemed, I thought out of all the people, he seemed the most relaxed about what they were doing. I think Matt LeBlanc is in a good place.
He's got all that Lost in Space money that he can.
He's happy with life. But they were calling him the Irish uncle because he's just sort of, a little squishy, a little happy to be there, smiling.
So did they have the show in the Central Perk? Is that where they were?
They did. Well, they went back and showed all the different sets. So they did a thing with James Corden where he interviewed them.
See, this is great, Carrie, so we don't ever have to watch this now.
He interviewed them in front of the fountain, in the opening of the show. And then they put the couch from the Central Perk in front of that. And then... But it went back and forth from interviews to clips of the show and guest appearances from people that had been on. And Lady Gaga did Smelly Cat.
Wow.
With the...
Why? Why didn't they have Phoebe do it?
Well, she did it too. They had a duet.
No, is she the twin sister? No, she's not the twin sister.
No,
okay.
It would have been a real trick to see the two twins doing it. Yeah.
But mostly what I get is sometimes things just need to stay where they are, and we don't, even though we're super nostalgic for them, that we don't need to go. Because it's sad. Seeing Matthew Perry and hearing him talk is sad. It's obvious.
Could he have been any more out of?
No, I would rather remember him the way he was. It was a little sad to see.
It's true. I've got some clips here if you want to hear how bad his lisping was and his speech impediment.
Authoritarian rule.
Yeah, it was just bad.
United States.
Yeah, it was really bad. So
it was just... Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll watch it now. I mean, I didn't watch Friends. I wasn't attracted to that show at all.
You won't care about this.
But these kind of things are interesting to me, though, because I'm fascinated.
Watching how they develop it and
how stuff gets made is fascinating to me.
Right.
Jennifer Aniston, has she been the most successful of all of them, I think, since the show? Probably, yeah. David Schwimmer does okay.
I think I bet it's Schwimmer because
he does a lot of behind the scenes directing.
A lot of directing
and all things, yeah.
And Matt LeBlanc, he just did that. What was it? What was the name of that show?
Episodes.
Yeah, and it was a big hit in Britain and pretty big here.
Yeah, but Jennifer Aniston, if you count the number of movies she's been in,
but have they been hits though?
Not really, but she's been in movie after movie after. It doesn't matter if they're hits or not. They just,
I guess,
she has steady work.
Yeah, she's been in. I'll bet she's been in 30 movies since.
What it made me do is want to go back and watch old episodes of Friends. That's what it made me want to do.
Oh yeah, and he was on Top Gear too, Matt LeBlanc. He was hosting Top Gear for a while.
Yeah, a lot of people blamed him for ruining Top Gear.
I think they've all been consistently working.
Yeah.
Except Matthew Perry.
Except
he's been getting dental work, apparently.
A lot of it.
A lot of dental work since
United States.
Yeah.
He wasn't too excited to be there, was he?
All right.
He was. I felt bad for him.
He was excited to be there?
Yes.
Can I just see my friend's skin?
I think he was
couldn't have been more excited.
Exactly.
Could I be any more excited?
Yeah. All right. Traffic, please, Gina.
Y'all must still be on vacation, I think, because the roads are moving very well, and you haven't even texted in any incidents. So I'm guessing there are no incidents. If I'm wrong, let me know. Text me, 33986. This summer, downtown Salt Lake's Main Street will be closed to cars and open to pedestrians Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from noon. Restaurants, bars, and shops will extend their service onto the sidewalks with music and art each night. Learn more at downtownslc.org/open streets.
All right.
Bonus round 2 coming up. Here are the candidates you will be considering. Number 1. That's an inappropriate sign down at the Popeyes. Boner candidate number 2. I don't think this is art, nor do I think we need this. And boner candidate number 3. The Little Debbie's Caper.
All right. Boners round 2, big boy news, all coming up after these. X96.
It's often said that the people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day. And today's word is...
Well, today's word for LeVar and LeGrand to toss around is nominees. Nominees, nominees. This word was suggested by Radio from Hell listener Craig Cripps, who heard the word used by his girlfriend. If you have a word for us to include in these Utah lessons, please email us at radiofromhell@x96.com. And now, they're going to have at it. Here are LeVar and LeGrand and the word nominees.
Hey, LeVar, who you voting for this year? You going to vote, aren't you? I mean, you better not be thinking of skipping this election. This will be maybe the most important election of our lives. If we don't make the right choice for county assessor this year, we could ruin the fate of the county for years. This is crucial.
Keep your shirt on, buddy. I'm voting. And sure, the assessor is important. But if we don't pick the right person for surveyor, the county could go to hell in a handbasket. I mean, there'd be years of no straight lines anywhere as far as the eye could see. I mean, we'd have crooked roads and buildings that ain't square. But this year, the choice for surveyor is clear.
It is? Well, how come?
The choice is clear because the guy running for surveyor is unopposed. He's the only nominee.
Oh, the only nominee. Well, good hell. I mean, don't people realize how important the office of surveyor is?
You and me does, friend, but most folks don't appreciate straight lines and well-defined boundaries.
Well, okay. But who else you looking at that's been nominated for office? Who are some of the other nominees?
Oh, lots of others, LeGrand. Lots of other candidacial nominees to consider.
Well, I get that, but what I'm looking for is guidance here, LeVar. I don't know who to pick. Where do you find your info on the nominees for public office?
Well, when it comes right down to it, I let the Lord choose my nominees for me. I vote by the power of prayer.
The power of prayer? You mean you ask for divine guidance on the nominees and then you pick somebody based on that?
Sure do. I get myself down in an attitude of prayer and I ask, who should I vote for? And the answer will come to me. I kneel and I ask, who should I pick? And then the name of the nominee appears in my mind, and I mark the spot and vote. Today, I got down and asked for guidance for several of the nominees,
and
I'll
then
be damned. I voted.
I'll be damned. And the names of the nominees came to you then?
Yes, they did.
Well, so you're going to vote now? You're going to vote for some of the nominees?
No, I can't vote right away. Well, with the praying on my knees, I bruised my knees. They're tender and sore. I would vote today, but I need to rest. Nominees are too painful to get out there.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah word of the day.
Follow Carrie Jackson on Twitter at RFHCarrie. This is Radio from Hell on X96.
Okay, it's 8:22. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. Here we go. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your votes of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Winning here does not make it boner of the day yet. It'll have to go up against the winner of round 1, which we did an hour ago. We'll take both of the winners of each round and put them together, and you'll decide boner of the day between those two at 9:20 this morning with Boner Fight. That's when that happens. Right now, we got to send one of these 3 forward from this round 2. Here we go. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it, Radio from Hell boner t-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1 has an inappropriate sign down to the Popeyes. They don't know who did this. It was probably not the management of the store, but a sign posted at the drive-thru of a location of Popeyes in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, said, so this is in the drive-thru, if you drive the drive-up window, restaurant under new management and will reserve the right to refuse service to white people. A photo of the sign was circulated on social media. Lake St. Louis police say that someone put the sign unbeknownst to the business. They say the sign could be related to vandalism at the Popeyes earlier this month. Probably. A manager at the Popeyes told a local radio station that surveillance video confirms employees did not post the sign. Nevertheless, the restaurant was forced to close Wednesday because of outcry over the message, the news outlet reported. Lieutenant Pat Doring of the St. Louis Police Department, or Lake St. Louis Police Department, said that the vandalism in early May included shattered glass and obscene messages painted on the drive-thru menu, but the words were not racially offensive. Though the restaurant was closed Wednesday, drivers went through the drive-thru with some looking to see whether the sign was real, and others just hungry for Popeyes, I guess. We have been made aware of the situation, investigating matters immediately. But somebody's trying to hurt that store, trying to hurt it, and this is one way they're doing it. Boner candidate number 1. An inappropriate sign down to the Popeyes. Here's boner candidate number 2. I don't think this is art, nor do I think we need this. An Italian artist is challenging period taboos, that is, menstruation taboos, and stigma with a new series of installations that depict Kim Kardashian and Marge Simpson menstruating.
What?
Alessandro Palumbo unveiled the series dubbed Break the Taboo in Milan. They're just hideous.
There they are at x96.com. X96.com/live is where you can see
to highlight International Menstrual Hygiene Day, which will be observed on Friday. To fight social inequality and gender disparity, we must also go through menstrual equity, Palumbo wrote on Instagram. One of the paintings depicts, I don't even want to describe it to you.
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
The artist has done other
not
works.
Necessary.
It's not, no, it's, and that's what I say. I don't think this is art, nor do I think we need this. Boner candidate number 2.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, the Little Debbie's Caper.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by
Young Automotive Group's Summer Fun Sales event now. Get your choice of a kayak or paddleboard and a cooler with any vehicle purchase. No payments until August when you finance with America First Credit Union. See dealer for details.
Action star and longtime admirer of Russian President Vladimir Putin, Steven Seagal, has become a member of a pro-Kremlin party in Russia. He's been living in Russia for quite some time.
He's
now,
a
this
citizen,
story
isn't
says,
he?
huh?
He's a citizen. Didn't he
I don't
get
know.
Russian citizenship?
It says, so this story says, action star and longtime admirer. Another one says, washed-up actor, Steven Seagal. In a video released on Saturday, the 69-year-old was revealed as a full member of the Communist Alliance, Just Russia, Patriots, for Truth and Fair Russia. It follows Mr. Putin approving the former actor and martial arts fans' request for Russian citizenship in 2016. So, yes, he requested citizenship. On Saturday, Mr. Seagal stood in front of a crowd and called for the arrest of businesses that pollute and posed for photos with party figures.
Go away.
I saw
go away.
I saw the pictures of him, you know, with the posing and all of that regarding this story. And just one thought came to mind. I just think someone needs to sit him down and say, Stephen, it's okay to go gray because this dye job is not.
That's your takeaway from it. Is
like,
that?
hey, you're crazy. You do be you.
Yeah.
But you know that dye job is so bad because he does the beard as well. You know.
You want to see a bad dye job? I didn't know Rich Little was still alive.
What?
Rich Little is 83 and still doing. He's playing these.
Still doing Ronald Reagan. He's still doing
yes.
that.
Well, yes. Yeah. Well, yes, he is. And he's 83 and he's performing at a little room at the Tropicana in Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. There's like 30
and a bad
people
dye
there.
job, huh?
Oh my God, terrible. And he just, there's something creepy about him too. He comes across as, I guess TV just didn't want me anymore.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's off the track here. Let's talk about why are people getting vaccinated? Well, I hate to say
it's
it.
the right thing to do.
I don't know why I hate to say it, but because it's true. I think Krispy Kreme is helping out a lot. Krispy Kreme
Whatever
donuts,
it takes. I don't care just get it done.
In a recent promotion for Americans who have been vaccinated against COVID-19, prove that you're vaccinated and you can get a free donut a day for the rest of the year. So all you got to do is take your little card in. Every day they'll give you a free donut. Every day.
They adjusted this.
I don't know. It's not what it says here.
All I know is that India is on the phone with Krispy Kreme and would like to have a word.
We're on our way to giving away many millions of donuts as even more people get vaccinated, said Dave Skina, Chief Marketing Officer at Krispy Kreme. He said, in order to qualify for the deal, customers have to show that their vaccination card, and then anybody who's received at least one shot of the Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson is eligible. Senator Mike Lee.
Yes.
Commenting on the insurrection at the Capitol on 6th and talking about guns as well. Now, Mr. Lee is against Mitt Romney's vote about the kangaroo court. A kangaroo commission is what he called it.
Unlike your Benghazi one, right, Mike?
That was the House. That was Jason Chaffetz.
He was all for it, though.
Utah Republican senators were on opposite sides of the failed vote on Friday to advance a bill to create a bipartisan commission to investigate the deadly January 6th attack on the Capitol. Mitt Romney voted in favor. Mike Lee voted against it. Now, Romney is level-headed and said, we have to prevent what happened on January 6th from ever happening again. I voted in support of a commission to evaluate the failures that occurred that day and seek out corrective action. Mike Lee said that the events of January 6th were tragic and there were many legitimate questions that remain to be answered. However, he said, the commission of The commission that the Democrats attempted to establish today contained broad investigative mandates, even to areas outside the events of January 6th, combined with a recipe for a political witch hunt. So the broad things that he's not in favor of is like the Democrats have said, well, we should investigate what led up to this in days and weeks ahead of
the meetings,
before.
the tours.
Maybe there were Congress people showing some of these people around the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
There might
Why
have been
don't
that.
you want to know that, Mike? That's what I'm
Also, this whole kangaroo concept, Mike, it would be 50-50 Democrats and Republicans participating.
So the part of the deal is, too, so now there will be investigations that will be ongoing. The House can do one, Nancy Pelosi can start. But this one would have, if there were any senators involved, this is the one that would have exposed that.
Exactly.
This is the commission that would expose that. The House, they can't do much about that. But
no, they don't want to expose the inside job part of it because we got the election coming up, and it would make them look bad, wouldn't it?
You remember Mike Flynn, former security advisor to Donald Trump? He has
not national security advisor.
Yeah.
He was
a
cabinet position.
After Obama said, "Don't hire Mike Flynn; he's crazy."
He appeared to endorse a Myanmar-style coup in the United States. For months, QAnon and Trump-supporting online forums have celebrated the deadly military coup in Myanmar and suggested that the same thing could happen here, or should happen here in the United States, so that Trump can be reinstated as president. Flynn made the comments at an event in Dallas on Sunday that was attended by prominent peddlers of QAnon conspiracy theories and the big lie. I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here. A member of the audience who identified himself as a Marine asked Michael Flynn. No reason, Flynn said. I mean, it should happen here. It should happen here.
Yeah.
No reason. That's right. Now he's tried to walk that back and say, no, I said it shouldn't happen here.
No, that's we have the tape. You're on tape. Do you know how that works?
So he's basically calling for an overthrow of the government by the military.
And he's not the only one. Over the weekend, it was mentioned several times. There were big gatherings over the weekend. And for some reason, they're using August as a deadline. Trump has said, I will be reinstated as president in August. I haven't found the root of that day, that time frame, but they've different people have said August is when it's going to go down.
I heard this quote the other day. And this is a quote from Ulysses S. Grant, who was the top Union general in the Civil War, and he was a two-term president of the United States. He said the following in 1875 as he neared the end of his second term as president. Listen to this. If we are to have another contest in the near future of our national existence, he's referring to the Civil War, I predict that the dividing line will not be Masons and Dixons, but between patriotism and intelligence on one side and superstition, ambition, and ignorance on the other side.
Yep.
Now, in this centennial year of our national existence, I believe it's a good time to begin the work of strengthening the foundation of the house commenced by our patriotic forefathers 100 years ago at Concord and Lexington. But he's saying it's not going to be a civil war between the states. It's going to be patriotism and intelligence against ignorance and fear and ambition. Because there's ignorance, there's fear, and then there are ambitious people who know how to use that.
Take advantage of it.
To their advantage. He said that 100. That guy said it. He's a Civil War guy.
And it's happening now.
Pretty amazing. All right, that's it.
All right. Sport, weather, traffic.
So Mike Tyson was interviewed recently.
Okay, what do you have to say? What did Mike have to say?
So, remember when he was in prison?
Yeah, people forget that he was in prison.
He was in prison.
For rape.
And apparently,
for rape.
And apparently, when he first got to prison, he wasn't good at being in prison.
No.
And he didn't follow the rules, and he got in trouble a lot. So much so that they tacked an extra year on his sentence. And he was like, "Oh man, I gotta get it together. What am I gonna do to get out of here?" And he found out if he got his GED, they would take time off of his sentence. He's like, "Okay, so I got to get my GED." But I'm not smart.
That's his high school equivalency exams. Yeah.
So what he did apparently was he started meeting with the prison counselor to quote unquote help him get his GED. Instead, he started sleeping with her in exchange for her passing him off on his GED.
Wow. Now this is according to Mike.
Yeah.
So what's become
I
of this
believe it.
person?
Don't you believe it? Well,
I'm so crestfallen about these and Young breaking up, man. I need to see that psychiatrist immediately.
He just is talking about it. I don't know that anything has happened to...
I guess at the end of the day, I just feel stressed and anxious and tired and moody.
Okay.
And the Jazz, by the way, they're up
yes.
3-1 in their series against the Grizzlies. Next game is in Salt Lake at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. That's your sports. Weather, it's summer. There, just to have it, be almost 100 by Friday. That's where we're at. It'll feel nice and cool today at 86 by the time Friday rolls around. No storms in sight, mostly sunny and clear throughout the week. Traffic, we haven't had much in the way of issues this morning. Let me check our UDOT website, give you the most up-to-date information. Crash northbound I-215 east at 31st South. This is in Mill Creek, off to the right shoulder. Let me check our message stream, see if anybody sent anything in there. Nope. People just want to bitch about Mike Lee, and that's it. If you want to bitch about Mike Lee or traffic or anything else, you can text it to us at 33986, and I'll pass it along to friends of the program. Feel the music as computer graphics and lasers take you for a cosmic ride. Clark Planetarium's light shows play every Friday and Saturday. Tickets are available at clarkplanetarium.org.
Here's boner candidate number 3, the Little Debbie's Caper. Something sinister is going on in Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
The hell?
Because for the second time this year, a duo of sinister bandits have broken into a locked storage unit and stolen multiple boxes of Little Debbie snack cakes. The police are asking for the public's assistance to solve this heinous crime. If any major crime syndicates learn that Poplar Bluff has a thriving snack cake black market, then God help us all. Picture 1920s Chicago, but replace the booze with zebra cakes.
Is that?
The first theft occurred on New Year's Day when a man and a woman broke into a similar storage unit in the area and loaded 8 cases of bagged donuts, 3 cases of strawberry shortcakes, and 2 cases of zebra cake rolls, 3 cases of Suzy Q's, 2 cases of unicorn cakes, and 2 cases of birthday cakes into the trunk of a Lincoln sedan, and then drove off. Now, at that time, Detective Don Mustaine of the Poplar Bluffs Police Department believed it would be an open and shut case, telling local news station that the suspects would likely be apprehended because of a unique identifying characteristic on their car, but because the entire heist was caught on video, nearly 6 months later, the suspects remained at large, and now it's happened again. A different storage area. Once again, the suspects were caught on video stealing Little Debbie's cakes from this storage unit. Now, I don't know who's doing this.
It's you, Bill. Come on, admit it. You're the Little Debbie lover in this joint.
I'm not gonna steal them now. I'll buy them. These two heists are probably related.
And now a joke just for Bill. I think it's that crime team of Chet and Lester Stebler.
That's probably right.
That joke was just for Bill.
All right. That's boner candidate number 3.
All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1 has an inappropriate sign down at the Popeyes.
Yeah.
Somebody put a sign up at the Popeyes chicken, place in Missouri that said that we won't be serving white people here at this. They're obviously trying to hurt the business of the Popeyes. Boner candidate number 2, I don't think this is art, nor do I think we need this. An Italian artist unveiling, it says here, sexy murals. I don't.
They're not.
Murals of Kim Kardashian and Marge Simpson menstruating. And boner candidate number 3, the Little Debbie's caper.
All right, time for you to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? Winning here does not make it Boner of the Day. It'll have to not only win here, but then it will have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting, which we did an hour ago. So it's important in this round 2 to choose strategically. So you decide, 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth at 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting June 1, 2021, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It should appear. But you have until the end of these messages to do it, so let's go. This is round 2.
It's time for Beat Gina, the game show that always assures there's a peaceful transfer of power. When the game is decided, you can be sure that Gina will peacefully hand over a prize, deserved or not. So join in the fun, and don't worry about losing your precious game show democracy when you listen to Beat Gina. And now, here he is, the defender of game show democracy, the host who fights for the truth, the justice, and the game show way. He won't let the show fall into chaos. No, he's the one, the only, Kerry Smilin' Jack Jackson.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. Good to have you back.
It's good to be here.
Well,
it's
let's
good to be anywhere.
Good to be above ground, as my uncle used to say. All right, we do have a contestant on the phone. We tossed a coin off air to determine that Scott will be our contestant. And Scott, are you there?
I am here, thank you.
All right,
Hi, Scott.
Scott has promised to go to Moochie's as much as possible.
Excellent.
Have Philly cheese.
That's not much of a sacrifice.
we all do our part in this desperate time.
Get the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Get the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls there.
I will try that. I've never had that before.
All right. We will toss a coin now to determine who goes first in this game, Scott. It gives you an advantage. Call it heads or tails.
Heads.
Heads. Coin toss app says it is heads, as you can see. All right. I think that means you go first. That means you have an advantage in the game. This first question is yours alone to answer correctly. If you do, you get a point. If you get it incorrect, Gina then gets a chance to answer it and steal your point away. We'll then go back and forth until somebody has 3 points. So, Scott, Shaun of the Dead trivia. First question. What pub does everybody take refuge in? It's the name of the pub that everybody takes refuge in. Is it A, the Winchester, B, the Dorchester, C, Squatters, or D, the Sun Trap?
I'm going to go with A.
That would be a good choice.
It's 1-0 for Scott. Now let's test Gina's knowledge of the wonderful comic zombie movie Shaun of the Dead. It's her turn to answer.
Gina.
Yes.
Nick Frost plays a character named Ed in the movie.
Yes.
What is written on Ed's T-shirt through the length of the movie? Is it A, I'd rather be Russian than a Democrat? B, I am drunk? C, I got wood? Or D, the word boner with like 2 robots on it?
B.
I am drunk?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Really?
Scott.
Chance to steal. Scott, what's the answer?
C.
I got wood is correct.
It's 2-0 for Scott, and in what may be a clean sweep, Scott controls the question with his dominance of the knowledge of the wonderful comic movie Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, it's better to be lucky than good.
All right. Scott, what crazy thing does Big Al believe? What crazy thing does Big Al believe? A, that there's a secret basement under Comet Pizza. B, dogs cannot look up. C, cats can secretly talk. Or D, COVID-19 is a hoax.
I'm going to go with B. I'm not sure about this one.
B, dogs cannot look up?
Uh-huh.
That is correct.
Scott, you win the game.
Wow.
Not only are you going to enjoy delicious food at Moochie's, meatballs and more, you win a Radio from Hell tote bag.
To put all your sandwiches in.
Your totes and sandwiches and egg rolls.
Egg rolls and all that.
Congratulations, Scott, and for helping transfer power peacefully here on BG.
Oh, no problem. It's nice to finally meet you, Johnny.
All right, Scott.
Thank you.
Hang on the line.
Johnny fan.
Hang on the line.
I'll put that down as one fan.
Hang on the line, and we'll get your information there, Scott. Thanks. $850. Let's award round 2 of your boners.
Trish Vanderveer.
Who's that?
Actress, married to George C. Scott. Young, very young actress. He was an old guy, but she was sort of famous. I don't know if she's still around, but Trish Vanderveer. There's a famous Trish for you, ladies.
But mostly not.
Mostly not. I know, mostly not famous.
Mostly Trish is
It's
not.
hard to think of an actress named Trish. They're right.
Well, I think that they were measuring on the level of fame as Don Cheadle.
Mhm.
Don Cheadle.
Well, Don Cheadle is way more famous than Trish Vanderveer. Let's see. So we had, this morning's boner is brought to you in part by hot dogs.
And X96 proud to welcome Inhaler to the depot. Hey, that's Bono's kid in that band.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Listen all week to win tickets here and get more details at x96.com.
Does this kid have a real name?
Well, yeah.
Is it like what's Hewitt? Is that his last
It's
name?
Bono Jr.
Okay. So we had boner candidate number 1, That's an inappropriate sign down there to the Popeyes. I think somebody's trying to cause them some problems, do some hurt to their business by posting a sign in the drive-thru, this restaurant will not serve white people. Just trying to make trouble. Don't do it. Then there's boner candidate number 2, which is, I don't think that this is art, nor do we need it. This is the one I think should have won. This is the artist, the so-called artist in Italy doing menstruating Kim Kardashian, Marge Simpson paintings. We really don't need this, sir.
No.
And or signore. And then boner candidate number 3, Little Debbie's Caper. I didn't suspect that would get a lot of votes. I just thought it was a fun story about somebody stealing Little Debbie's cakes. But the winner was boner candidate number 1, an inappropriate sign down to the Popeyes.
Okay, that's your winner of round 2's boner voting. It is now qualified to be, well, it'll go forward. It might be boner of the day. See, it will take this winner and the winner from round 1 and put them against each other at 9:20 this morning. That's when you'll vote for boner of the day. Okay, so get ready. It'll happen in about a half hour from now.
And then does Dave the Flower Guy come in? And
I wish.
Not. He'll join us at Tracy Aviary on Friday, I bet.
Let's see. So we have a Utah word of the day here, and is it sponsored, Gina?
No, we can just dive right in.
It's often said that the people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day. And today's word is...
Canny. C-A-N-N-Y. Canny. And now, to use the word in a sentence, once again, ladies and gentlemen, LeVar and LeGrand. Today, the boys are joined by a special guest for his Halloween season, Chainsaw Guy. Now, for the uninitiated, Chainsaw Guy is the character in Utah spook alleys that appears at the end wearing a hockey mask and brandishing a chainsaw to chase screaming patrons out of the attraction and off to their cars. Again, the word is canny.
Pardon me, miss?
Yeah?
It's me, Chainsaw Guy. And I want to thank everybody, by the way, for putting that picture of me up at x96.com/live.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
It's a handsome photo of
that
you,
is
Chainsaw Guy.
You forgot, miss, you forgot to mention that I'm a self-certified life coach.
That's right. I'm terribly sorry.
I have to do something to make money in the off-season. Also, the preferred nomenclature is not spook alley, it's haunted house, or simply haunt. We don't use the term spook alley anymore.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
We are not children.
Oh, no. Again, apologies. Haunt. Oh, and again the word is...
Canny. Ma'am, we're not stupid either. Our memory lasts longer than just a few moments. We can remember the word canny. And now, my friends, LeVar and LeGrand will demonstrate how this word is used in a sentence.
Yeah, we will, but I gotta ask you something first. You gonna play on our team this year when we start ward ball?
Well, LeVar, you know he can't be on the team. He's a ringer. The rules say the players have to be in the team's ward.
Well, no one's gonna know it's Chainsaw Guy. He just won't wear his mask or bring the pulling when he plays ball this year. Oh, hey, let me ask you, what haunt you gonna be at on Halloween night? 'Cause after we take the kids out for trick-or-treat, after we take the kids out for their trick-or-treat candy, we want to bring them back to a haunted house.
I'm not telling you that. Last year, the little darlings got sick because they ate too much candy and they got sick all over me.
Oh, come on now. You gotta tell me. LeGrand, he can't not tell me, can he?
All right. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what haunted is. I'm going to be... It is really one of the scariest haunts that I've ever worked at.
Hey, LeGrand, you ever notice that when Chainsaw Guy don't want to tell you something, that chainsaw of his starts up and drowns out his voice every time?
You all right, LeVar? It's uncanny.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah word of the day.
Now that one, did we record that one in the studio?
Well, apparently we recorded it at some place that didn't have very good broadcast equipment.
That was in 2019, and so it was switched over through our systems, which probably decreased the quality of it.
But there was echo in that room, and I want to say that we were in the studio, which says to me that our rooms at home have better acoustics than the studio that
Well,
we're
you remember they
broadcasting
came in and finally they balanced the microphones out finally.
That's
and they
true.
sounded a lot better.
That's true.
Oh, and by the way, Bono's kid, his name's Elijah Hewson.
Elijah.
Not
And
just Bono's kid.
What does he play?
Let's see. He's the vocalist guitarist for the band Inhaler. Coming to the Depot. You can
Okay.
get more information at x96.com.
All right. Well, we will take a break. We will be back. Tuesday Tunes with Todd coming up after this. And, boner fights, all of those things coming up. KXRK Provo.
Dear Carrie, Bill, and Gina, although Gina wasn't here when this happened, I don't believe. I've been listening to Radio from Hell since I was 14 or 15. I'm now 30, and I still spend my mornings listening to you all as I commute to work. I value your opinions, and for the most part, I share your ultra-liberal way of thinking. I often find myself quoting you when discussing politics or even just life events. It would be safe to say that I'm a loyal fan. However, one of my biggest pet peeves continues to pop up on the show, and I can't take it anymore. I'm a millennial. I was born in 1988, the heart of the millennial generation. Over the years, the term millennial has become an insult or comedic point for many, including myself. We are the generation of participation trophies and lackluster work ethic. Where my issue falls is this: the constant misuse of the term millennial. A millennial is anyone born between 1981 and 1996. So, yes, producer Katie is definitely a millennial. And the segment where you asked her all of the nostalgic questions was quite funny. But looking at the years that millennials were kids, you wouldn't think it's that odd that a millennial would know what you were talking about. I mean, I could easily answer every one of the questions. It wasn't that hard. Perhaps I'm wrong, but it seems that you all think a millennial is much younger than they truly are. For the most part, millennials are in their late 20s, early 30s. We are the children of the late 80s and 90s. So it says, yet every other episode or so, there's a comment from you all about millennials and what we don't know. The breaking point was on the 17th when Bill made a comment about millennials getting into the TV show The Office. For the love of God, Bill, millennials were watching The Office when we were in junior high and high school. Maybe it's just silly of me to get so worked up.
It is.
But millennials didn't eat Tide Pods. So fault is for our real mistakes. I love you all. I'm just annoyed by this. Probably I'm entitled, emotional, and a millennial. Love always, Molly. Well, Molly's right. So I looked it up. The generations. They name each generation.
I feel like I've read conflicting things on when the millennial ends and begins. So if she is correct, and you confirm that, then I'm a millennial too. I'm an older millennial, but I would still be a millennial.
Here's what it is. Some generations are known by one name only, as like baby boomers.
Okay.
That's what I would be. Names for other generations is a matter of some dispute among experts, but here are some of the things that we agree on. Oh, there's a chart at x96.com/live.
Okay.
Here's how and William Strauss, they're demographers, describe millennials. Millennials would be between 1980 and 2000, also known as Generation Y. Okay?
Okay.
So let's...
80 to late 90s. All right?
Yeah. Let's see. So people from 2000 to the present would be known as either the silent generation, the new silent generation, or Generation Z. Okay? But so then there's another one, the Population Reference Bureau. They have a little different, so there are different ones. But generally, millennials are between 1980 to 2000.
To late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, and that one is pretty set in all of these. But then there's, the silent generation, the baby boomers. That's 1946 to 64. Generation X, that was 65 to 79. And millennials, then present, they're calling the present new silent generation or Generation Z. So, but she's right, millennials, we just have I have the tendency to think of anybody who's really young is a millennial, and that's not true.
From now on, you're all young'uns.
Gen Z.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're young'uns. That's the title. That applies to everybody.
Young'uns?
Young'uns.
Okay.
My dad would say.
People, no pee breaks.
That deal fell through, by the way.
Because
Thursday turns with Todd on X96, ran from hell.
Hi, Todd.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Todd Newcomb, of course, the program director for X96. He also does the afternoon show, 3 to 7. And he, along with Corey O'Brien, picks most of the music that you hear on our station. I guess all of the music that you hear on our station. Makes the decisions about... Yep.
We make it easy because we just listen to what listeners tell us to do, and then we just do that. And then we pretend like we're smart. It's not that hard. Anyway.
No, you're not fooling me, that's for sure. So what have you selected for us today, Todd?
Well, so while I was on vacation, 21 Pilots put out their new album, Scaled and Icy, and ever since that dropped, I've been listening to it, and I love it. I mean, I'm inclined to like them just because I do, and I think they're brilliant. But this album is just amazing, and so many great things going on with it. It's called Scaled and Icy, and we've played a couple of tracks already from it, but the one that kind of caught my attention, not even one, like it's all so good, but this one just kind of is fun. It's called Saturday.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's no secret that at some point, because everyone in the world is going to announce a tour, and these guys are obviously no exception. So they're going to be touring, and they've been doing some TV performances. They were on the Billboard Music Awards. They were on a couple of the late night shows. And they've been playing with like a full band, so it's not just the two guys. It's not Tyler and Josh, and then sequencers and backing tapes and whatnot. It's just a full stage full of musicians now, and it translates very well. I think it's pretty cool.
Good.
All right. Well, let's listen to it then. From the album Scaled and Icy, it's 21 Pilots, and the song is called Saturday. Tuesday Tunes with Todd on X96.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Last week, these little girls came up to me.
Ow.
They come running up to me, and they go, and I mean, they're like 12 years old or 11, and they go, Are you Bill Allred? And I said, yeah. And they said, do you remember us? And I said, no. And they said, You threw us out of that garage in your backyard a couple of weeks ago.
What? You had kids in your garage?
Not my garage. My neighbor. She has this old garage, and the
Wait a
top
minute.
of it.
No, do you have an infestation?
Yeah.
Is it like
little girls?
That's what it was like. It was an infestation of little girls. No! And the old garage has like a top place that you can walk up some stairs and go into, a second story, but it's just ramshackle. You know, you can see through the ceiling and the floorboard.
You ought not be walking around.
It's more of a shack than anything.
Yeah, and I realized there were some kids up there so I went over, and there were these little girls in there trying to clean it up and make a playhouse out of it. You know? And
a fort. We want a fort.
Yeah, and I was nice to him because I said I know how attractive this is to want to do this, but it's really not safe. Plus, it's filthy. And I mean, they had cleaning equipment in there and all of this kind of stuff. And I said, it's really not safe.
Yeah.
So and there were other kids coming down my driveway and stuff to go up there with them. And I said, so come on out and please don't do it anymore. And you know, they haven't. I could have I was going to put a lock on the door for my neighbor. And I haven't gotten around to it, but I don't think anybody's been up there since.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. But then apparently there were some older kids who recognized me, apparently. So they were just really excited that they had been thrown out.
Kicked us out.
They kicked us out of that place.
Does that mean Jonesy's going to scream like that someday? No! Is that what girls do?
Yeah.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
Who is that? Who is that that says super good fun?
It's a PSA for some kid thing.
But you don't know who it is?
Nope.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
All it takes is a little know-how.
All it takes is a little know-how. Yeah, super good fun.
96.3 FM, X96.
You know, you'll hear, like, I listen to the album, and I hear, not necessarily in that song, but throughout the album, you'll hear little bits of, oh, that reminds me of The Cure, or, oh, that reminds me of Depeche Mode, or, that's just a very synth-pop sort of sound going on. So it's a pretty cool record, and, you know, I like it. I think it's tight, and every song on it, you know, should be on the radio at some point.
Yeah,
let's
sounds...
play all of them then.
Yeah, we could.
All right.
Just put the album on and leave the station. Oh, wait.
That'll be our summer.
I think we should try playing them all. We should try playing them all at the same time.
There you go.
Well, that's not a good idea.
See how that works out.
But seriously, that's going to be a huge hit, of course. So 21 Pilots. The song is called Saturday. The album is Scaled and Icy, and it's available now? Or, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it came out a couple weeks ago, and get it and enjoy it. It's good stuff.
All right. Well, Todd, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will see you at the meeting later.
I can't wait.
I know you can't wait. He loves these meetings. All right. Bye, Todd. We'll see you.
Thursday turns with Todd on X96. Ready for mail.
He was positively giddy at the thought of a meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it was the song that helped pump up his enthusiasm.
Well, and he gets to be the leader.
That's true.
At the meeting, you know.
In his mind, he changed the lyrics to the song to "Meeting Day." It's meeting day. Yeah. All right. We will take a break. We will be back with boner fights. We'll be back with a reasonable amount of news. All of that on the way. Ranlife.com.
Yes, indeed. Ranlife is a local mortgage company, and they can help you with your refinancing of your mortgage. and they're really good at finding the best way for you to do this. They have virtual closing. You barely have to be in contact with a human being in the same room.
You've used them a couple times, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done it, and the last one I think I did. I did talk to Daniel in person one time. He came and sat on my porch with me, and we did a couple of things. But Rand Life, they can refinance your mortgage. If the interest rate is lower, they will get you a good deal. You can get cash in your pocket, or you can use the money to remodel. There are lots of things that you can do. It's simple, it's easy, and I recommend it highly. So all you have to do is give them a call. Rand Life is the company. It's 801-355-5550. Nope, 801-478-4500. 478-4500. I got lots of phone numbers in my brain.
Well, it's just best if you go to randlife.com. It's right there.
Yeah.
We have yet to talk about Wonder Woman 1984.
All right. Now, before we go further,
okay.
Bill, did you see it?
No.
Okay.
And I don't think I really care to see it.
Okay.
I didn't see the first one either, and I'm sorry.
It's good. You should see that one.
Why do you always do that? I say I didn't see the first. You didn't? What did I just say? I didn't see it.
The first one was great up
I heard
until
it was very good.
The climactic battle at the end, and then it had some ending problems. But other than that, it was terrific. So the second one, you go to the trouble to place it in 1984. I'm expecting a great soundtrack.
Yes.
Because the trailer, we had Blue Monday from New Order.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, this is just a hint of things to come. We're going to get a whole lot of great late 70s, early 80s songs. No.
None.
We got one.
A Frankie Goes to Hollywood song is in.
And it was Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, I believe.
But that's it. Is it a money thing? They didn't want to pay rights for
Well, they didn't put him. That was the only song in it, or
it was the only 80s song in it. There was a scene where they were all going to this, fancy ball, and Gal Gadot strides in this white gown, and she's just looking amazing. And it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome is playing, and that's the only 80s tune that I think we got.
What were there other songs from other eras?
Well,
No.
I mean, Hans
So
Zimmer
just
did the soundtrack, so
Yeah.
there was
That was your traditional movie soundtrack stuff. But I mean, songs of the era. That was it.
Oh, by the way, Mark O'Toole, it was his birthday. He wrote Two Tribes.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Along with Holly Johnson and Peter Gill.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been very excited about Wonder Woman 84 in our house because we all loved the first one so much, and I told this story yesterday, like, oh, should we watch it on Christmas? And Jonesy's like, no, we got to watch a Christmas movie. Little did we know there's the Christmas element to Wonder Woman 1984, but so we watched it on New Year's Eve, and I had to fight to stay awake through it.
I heard it was a mistake. So it's no secret that Chris Pine is in it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard people talking about it. See, I didn't see the first one, so I didn't know that something happened to him in the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they said as great as Chris Pine is, and it was probably a mistake to bring him back for one thing.
Well, no, I think that was the least of the problems of this movie. It's boring. The best part of the movie was the opening sequence when they're, when Wonder Woman's the little girl and they're having, Amazon games and they're riding horses and shooting arrows and we're like, oh, this is
I
awesome.
saw that preview,
That was the best part. Carrie, do you agree that?
No, and they released that. They let you watch the first minute and a half of the movie, and it got your hopes up. And then there's a sequence right after that takes place in a mall that I actually quite enjoyed because it was it was channeling Richard Donner's original Superman movie where it was Superman's first night out, and he goes out and solves several crimes, and he encounters goofy criminals, who are stupid.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, they're channeling Richard Donner. I can see that now. Okay, but then it took a direction.
It was just
took a different direction.
The storyline was stupid, and they could have, with that theme, just Wonder Woman 1984. That could have been a really fun, cool movie, and it just wasn't.
Well, that's too bad. I mean,
now, not this week's episode, but last week's episode of Geek Show. At the very end of the episode, we take a half-hour deep dive into it. And I decided, since everyone else was piling onto the movie, that I would defend. I couldn't defend all of it, but I would defend what I could defend in the movie.
Which was
so
what?
Well, you have to listen to the episode,
Okay.
or I'll just tell you off the air. Because I'm still hesitant to talk about it a lot because of spoilers.
Well, how was Linda Carter? Was she good anyway?
She was good
Wonder
in it,
Woman?
yeah.
She was good.
Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She was great.
So here's the one defense I will have. I love Gal Gadot.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Who
great.
is she in it?
She's perfectly cast as that person, and she's gorgeous.
And her boyfriend Lyle Wagner.
She's gorgeous, and she's great with the action scenes, and so she is wonderful. So that's my one positive.
I've got a bunch more on the positive side.
Okay,
but,
okay.
It was okay, not great. That's my review.
Deborah Winger, was she? How was she?
Let's see, 9:20 right now, which means we have Boner Fight coming up here in about 7 minutes. So, more than a reasonable amount of news.
All right, then. It's going to be a big summer for hard seltzer. I know that.
Brought to you by
Young Power Sports in Centerville is Utah's newest power sports dealer. Tri-City Performance is now Young Power Sports in Centerville, your Polaris and Victory motorcycle dealer. See inventory online at youngpowersports.com.
Just how big a summer it's going to be for hard seltzer, we're not sure.
Huge.
But we know it's going to be big. It could be gargantuan. Sales exploded to $4 billion last year from about $500 million in 2018. Dozens of brands will compete to be the boozy, bubbly drink of the season. Yes, it'll be hard seltzer a-go-go all summer long.
I'd rather have a Zima than a hard seltzer. That's how much I don't care for hard seltzer.
I don't care for the hard seltzer either, but you forget how bad Zima was.
That's what I'm saying. That's how bad.
You'd take a hard seltzer over a Zima any day.
Oh.
It was awful. Let's see. Mark Eaton has died. He was a star for the Utah Jazz. He was still holds several records for defensive player, shot blocking. He was 64. He was on his bicycle riding around up in Summit County, and don't know for sure what happened.
He was by
exactly.
himself, so no one
Yeah,
knows.
he didn't get hit or anything. So, but I don't know. Maybe he died of injuries because he crashed his bike, or I don't. The story was not clear about that. B.J. Thomas, raindrops keep falling on my head. Not anymore. He's dead.
Won't you play
70.
another somebody done somebody wrong song?
Have a hard seltzer, will you? He was 78. Died of lung cancer. Had any number of hits. This is one of them. I think he had 4 Grammys, 5 Grammys, something like that. Perfectly inoffensive, which is what you want to be in this world. And also, tragedy, Gavin MacLeod.
Oh.
Captain Stupping of the...
Stubing.
Yeah, right. That's right. That
sounds like the Mel Brooks version of The Love Boat. He would have had a Captain Stupping.
Captain Stupping.
Like the Spaceballs of Love Boat would be Captain Stupping.
His Stupping is this big floating whorehouse that he was running there with this bartender that kept everybody drunk, and Fred Grandy, who didn't do anything.
Gopher. He was a gopher.
I didn't see him digging any holes ever. And then there was Julie. She was the
your cruise director.
Yeah, and she didn't last.
Yes, she did. She was on the.
No. Who was the?
Didn't she leave a season?
Well, Vicky, the daughter Vicky was there.
No, there was so one of them had drug problems.
Lauren Hughes had drug problems
and had to leave, and so the captain's daughter took over, being the sweet little chubby cheeked
Honey,
Vicky.
I've seen that drug addict do this job for years. You can do it, even though you're a child.
Whatever happened to Lauren Tweez?
Let's see.
And
it says years active, 1976 to present. I don't know that she's active, really.
What's her most recent project?
Let's see. Oh, a comedy mystery radio series.
Oh, good.
Imagination Theater's Murder and the Murdochs. She's doing radio plays.
I'll be sure to not listen to that. And Mayim Bialik was a guest host on Jeopardy, and people really liked her.
Really?
Yeah. It's an incredible honor to guest host on Jeopardy. She said, after being introduced at the top of the show, I was raised in a very creative and academic family, but it wasn't until high school that I fell in love with science. And that love led me to a PhD in neuroscience. So she's a brain doctor. I so appreciate that Jeopardy is a show that tests all aspects of intellect and allows the brightest minds to shine. It also has a lot to do with how quick you can press the button.
Yeah, that's about 50% of it. Yeah.
But she did an excellent job, apparently. Let's see. Senator Mike Lee went after the Biden administration nominee to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms over what the Utah Republican Lee called a troubling, flippant attitude toward gun owners.
Take us seriously.
David Chipman, former ATF agent and gun control advocate, appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee earlier this week in a sometimes contentious hearing. It was early last week. Lee went after Chipman over his past statements on criminal background checks for gun purchasers and gun owners. The senator took issue with this Chipman post on Reddit in 2019, which read, while at ATF, I conducted studies involving people who failed background checks to determine how many later committed crimes with a gun. Many did. This is a perfect opportunity to arrest people before committing crimes rather than responding after the fact.
Okay.
Lee said Wednesday that he found that comment very troubling, especially from someone nominated to serve as the ATF director. Chipman, he said, compounded that with another statement in an interview last year with Cheddar News. I don't know why he was giving an interview to a cheese publication, but he said, in the interview, you openly mocked the first-time gun owners. You mocked first-time gun owners, saying that they were more like the Tiger King, then advising them in quite a mockery to hide their gun behind the cans of tuna and beef jerky that they've stored in a cabinet, and only bring that out if the zombies start to appear, Lee said, quoting Chipman. Lee said he had watched the clip several times, hoping that he was missing something.
Yes, you were missing the humor.
Hoping that there was something that would make it seem less troubling.
Because he's not wrong. There are people that bought their first gun. He's not, I mean, he's saying it in a joking way, but bought your first gun, and they do. They stick it in the cupboard behind the canned goods, and it's there for the, he's not wrong.
No.
You're
Lee
insulting gun owner.
Lee also cited a National Shooting Sports Foundation survey showing gun retailers reported that the highest percentage of increase in sales in the first half of 2020 was among black people. Sales to women and Hispanic Asian Americans also increased, he said. Why would you choose to insult so many of your fellow Americans with a statement like, so Lee, first of all, says, we sold a lot of guns to black people and Asians and women. Why would you choose to insult those people?
That is a
you are stretching,
route
Mike.
To get
you
there,
really
Mike.
are. And here's the thing: is that Chipman has worked in the ATF for years, so eminently qualified. Eminently.
Yeah, he's.
It's just because Biden suggested him. That's your job, is to say no to everything that the Democrats want to do.
Mike Lee's a panty waste.
He is. He's terrible.
He's a panty
He
waste.
needs to
That's
go.
what he is.
We need to get rid of him. This time around, we need to get rid of him. He's a joke.
And finally this, a bodybuilder who has married his 2 sex dolls says...
That's against the law, isn't it? You can only marry one sex doll.
No, I don't know. It says, well, I don't know if he was married to both of them at the same time.
I don't think you can legally marry 2 sex dolls.
I think he divorced one and then married another one. He says he's open to the idea of having a relationship with a human on one condition. Yuri Tolochoko from Kazakhstan wed his first sex doll wife, Margot, at a ceremony attended by a dozen guests in November of 2020. He has since split with Margot. So
what did she do to him?
So to embark on a fresh relationship with his new dolls, Luna and Lola.
She knows what she did.
You know what happened? He traded her in for a younger model. It happens.
2 younger models.
Even in the sex doll relationship industry.
Don't worry, Gina, you're fine. Don't worry.
I don't think you treat Diane with enough respect.
So, but he says, I'm open to a relationship with a human if the human doesn't mind me having these, Lola and Luna on the side.
Well,
so I'm sure.
I don't. Blink if you object, girls. You don't? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
Here it goes now. 2 good candidates today. Number 1 from the 7 o'clock hour. That mask mandate is just like the yellow star, the Star of David. There's a hat company in, apparently a big company too, in Tennessee, sells a lot of hats, but a lot of brands are dropping. They're not going to be allowed, they're not going to allow the store to sell their brands because the woman who owns the store, runs it, she made yellow Star of David, and on it says not vaccinated. And she said, I do this to honestly protest government overreach. Because the government forcing us to wear masks, it's just like, giving the Jews the yellow Star of David and making them wear it to identify. It's not just like them. It's just not like it at all, as a matter of fact. That goes up against number 2, an inappropriate sign down to the Popeyes. Somebody's trying to cause trouble at the Popeye restaurant in Missouri. by putting a sign up that said, "We will not be serving white people." Popeyes would not do that.
No.
It's somebody trying to cause trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's boner candidate number 2.
Okay, you've got to decide of these 2 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be boner of the day for today. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win out of these 2. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Easy. Or you can call the producer's booth, use your voice, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight, June 1, 2021, and vote there. You probably won't see that box right away when you get to x96.com because we just put it up and we're having a little bit of trouble with the website this morning. So refresh your browser, and it should appear, and you can vote online. Okay? All right, you have until the end of these messages. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from the haunted house near you, he's the guy who chased you out at the end. He wears,
I was scared.
He wears the hockey mask and threatens you with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
He is Chainsaw Guy.
Yeah. How are you? You're the little girl who wet her pants last time, aren't you?
You scare me every time, James.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Guy, it's good to see you. Of course, a lot of people know you as the guy who chases you out at the end of the haunted house with the chainsaw.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And you've been very busy.
Yes, very busy. This is my big night.
But a lot of people don't know that Chainsaw Guy is also a very sensitive man, especially in the ways of love and relationships.
Thank you. And I am a licensed sex therapist.
Now,
sex therapist?
When you are, when you're doing your sessions, do you wear the mask? Or do you take it off ever?
The mask never comes off. I do change the jumpsuit occasionally. You like the new one?
Yeah, it's
yeah. Well, I thought it was time for a new set of overalls, and so I got the bright orange like a prison inmate.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
it adds to the menace.
Thank you.
All right, Chainsaw Guy, we have. I believe we indulge her every year. Chainsaw Guy, we have on the line. Tim is on the line, who's desperately in need of some of your love advice. Tim, go ahead and tell Chainsaw Guy exactly what's going on and ask your question when you're finished.
Sure, Chainsaw Guy. Well, my question is, I'm in a relationship with a girl named Aubrey right now, and everything's going swimmingly with her. She's great. The problem is with her mother. Her whole family is all LDS and very LDS, and I'm very not LDS.
Yes.
Her mother naturally has a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know, Chainsaw Guy, what should I do?
Well, Tim, I would like to say, and I don't think it is, or first or third, I don't think it is something. I had this in a June, and then mother and daughter, that you take both of them out, that you send those forever, for a lot of not vegetarian and a curry on top, and I take the refrigerator, and it's got the vinegar. And then I end up doing both.
So there you go, Tim.
Thank you very much.
I left out the part where, Chainsaw Guy has his chainsaw with him. It's all a key.
It's a pulling.
Part of the, it's a pulling. Yes, it is a pulling. Catherine.
I'll get rid of a heck of armor.
I don't blame you. Catherine, Chainsaw Guy is here. What is your question?
All right. I'm curious because I've been dating this guy a couple weeks.
Are you bi-curious?
Are you bi-curious is what he's asking?
That's what I said. Are you bi-curious?
No. I'm just curious because he keeps on saying that he wants to just love me to pieces.
Oh.
And I just don't know if I should let him do that because it kind of creeps me out.
Well.
So, Chainsaw Guy, what should Catherine do?
Well, Catherine, first of all, if you get a refrigerated truck, and then you do it in the thing, and then the second on piece by piece, all the way, and then you turn, and then I turn it down a little bit, and then you just my turn, and then And then he can love more of you in more places.
There you go, Catherine. I hope that helped. Are we done, Gina?
One more.
I'm always up, although I'm very busy. I've got
He does have to go and sharpen the chainsaw blade.
Just one more.
All right.
What do you mean? It's not a chainsaw blade. It's a chain, you idiot.
Yeah. Brittany.
Hello.
Hi, Brittany.
Chainsaw Guy is here. What is your... tell us about your situation and then ask Chainsaw Guy what to do.
I have this friend that we've been friends for a long time, and I have a crush on him, and I just met his new girlfriend, and he wants me to honestly tell him what I think of her, and I can't stand her, and I want to tell him how I feel, but I just don't know. Chainsaw Man, what should I do?
Well, and I just Catherine, Brittany, whatever your name is, I think I know. And then go first. So you get her girlfriend, and then you're going to hit it. You really have a confidence. So what you're going to do is tell about it, see what you think about it. And then you go home, and then I think there's no more parts to magic. And then if you think of the answer, and then you want to do, and then I think the power of the universe end up in a three-way.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Brittany, thank you.
No, thank you.
Can I go now? I've got a lot of people to scare.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sure.
Chainsaw Guy.
Are they performing now?
All right, yes. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Chainsaw Guy. It's just amazing he makes time on Halloween.
Look at that. He's out the door. Look at that.
There he goes.
Here he goes. Orange jumpsuit, his pulling chainsaw. There he
Hockey
goes.
mask.
For another year, gone.
Glad he got rid of the Husqvarna.
Yeah.
It's not as scary as a pulling because they're higher pitched.
Yeah. I remember when he started, all he could afford was an eager beaver.
All right. Let's award Boner of the Day.
Wow. Okay. And it's brought to you in part by hot dogs and potato salad.
And Moochie's would like to thank their loyal customers for supporting their locally owned and operated business. Moochie's has been voted Best of Utah for over 17 years. Dine-in, delivery, and pickup available.
This is not a fight at all.
Really?
Yeah. Some three losers voted for number 2. You guys are so far out of step with the mainstream. Number 1 really got all the votes. By a 50-vote total margin, the mask mandate, just like the yellow star. Well, no, it isn't. And people saw that for what it is, the boner of the day.
That is Boner of the Day for June 1st, 2021. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That will be announced on Friday by Dave the Flower Guy, probably in person. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he didn't come down to the Tracy Aviary and see us. We'll have to find out.
Y'all can come down.
Yeah.
We're going to open a little early.
8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, and it'll be our first time live in person with... No, people don't believe me when I tell them that. I have not been in the same room, in the same space as you guys in 400 some odd days. This will be the first time.
You know what I'm going to do to
What?
celebrate? I'm going to bring
What?
some hard seltzer.
Well, it is the summer of hard seltzer, isn't
Summer.
it? As a matter of
Summer
fact,
of
since
hard
we've been talking about it so much, apparently there is now a hoarding going on of hard seltzer.
Oh,
People
boy,
are
I hope there
worried
isn't a shortage.
People are worried that they're going to run out of it. All right, go ahead and hit that, and let's
The
get
following is a sponsored feature.
Let's get Nurse Nicole on the phone.
She's here, I think. Nicole Lamb, are you
Yes.
there?
I am here. How are you guys?
We're doing okay. We had a lot of hard seltzer this past weekend.
No,
so.
we didn't.
How do you know I didn't? It's the summer of hard seltzer, and I got to jump on it.
Well, now
Bill,
what is
it's not good for your diabetes.
Diabetes, exactly.
It's not good for that.
Right. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's true. And Nicole, let's talk about diabetes. But I notice you're using the word keto and ketogenic diet and a keto diet. I've never been really quite clear what all that is either. Can you talk about that?
So ketogenic diets are where a person consumes a very low amount of carbohydrates, and they consume more fatty foods and high protein foods. So the diet's essentially about 70 to 80% fat.
Wow.
So that could be like oily fish, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oils, and then 10 to 20% protein, and then really like 5 to 10% carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it causes a few things. One, your brain consumes the most glucose of your body. So it consumes about 120 grams of glucose per day.
Mm-hmm.
And because it can't get that from the body and the food anymore, it starts having the liver convert. And then as your body pulls this extra glucose out of your liver,
Mm-hmm.
then your blood insulin levels start to drop. So it decreases insulin levels,
I see.
as well as blood sugar levels.
All right.
Mhm.
So it's good for the diabetes if you got the diabetes to try and eat that sort of a diet.
If you have type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome, yes. Type 1 hasn't been studied as much in type 1 diabetics. So I would definitely check with doctor before doing any of that. But ketoacidosis is where type 1 diabetics get into real trouble, but that's not what a ketogenic diet does.
Okay.
So our body naturally goes into ketosis overnight, like a mild range ketosis when we fast for, 10, 12 hours overnight.
That's why I get up in the middle of the night and have a snack.
What are you doing down in the kitchen, Bill? It's ketosis. I gotta get it.
I'm having bread.
The interesting part of doing a ketogenic diet is that it's been shown to help people with polycystic ovaries, Alzheimer's disease, as well as decrease in risk for cancers. So it's pretty interesting what they're learning more and more about ketogenesis.
Do you have any idea, what are the theories? People seem, there are more and more cases of diabetes in the world. Why would that be happening?
I think there's a lot of different theories, from just being more sedentary to more processed food. I'm not sure we have the exact answer on that. I have more anecdotal things than
but it is true that there is more diabetes now than there has. It seems to get worse every year. So if you want,
it does.
Go ahead. If you want to find out about it, Nightingale College has some resources.
Yeah, so we put up some information on increasing your fiber, which is a really great way to decrease insulin and blood sugar, as well as ketogenic diets and counting carbs. So all different areas that you can look at in controlling blood sugar and insulin levels.
Okay. If you just go to nightingalecollege.edu. Edu. Thank you. You can find all that information, and thank you, Nurse Nicole Lamb.
Hey, y'all have a great day.
Okay,
All right. Thank you. Okay. We will take a break, and we will crawl towards the exits after these. X96.
I find this on my desk when I come in this morning. This leaves a bad taste in my mouth as well. Well, it says it's a postcard. Greetings from fabulous Moab, Utah.
Fabulous.
And it's a postcard from the Poison Spider bicycle shop. It's a well-known bicycle shop down in Moab. It's got a giant horrific spider on it chasing a bicyclist through the red rocks of
Oh, I like
Moab.
that. Looks like one of those old movie posters.
And then on the back it says Carrie and Bill, and it's written by someone who assigns themselves very disappointed fan.
Very disappointed.
Disappointed enough to send a postcard.
Wow.
Somebody who looks like they might have been drunk, because it's barely decipherable, scribbled. Carrie and Bill, although you are entertaining, why do you disrespect and bully Gina Barberi on your show? She is the voice of reason.
Voice of reason? Did you hear that? You're now the voice of reason.
It's my dad's thing.
Intelligent and kind. I guess this is kindness.
Kindness?
Kindness. It's.
I like it when drunk people stick up for me.
Yay.
You both behave like
jackanapes. Jackanapes, please.
Misogynistic. Oh, misogynists. Gina should be something.
Do you want me to try
treated much better as a professional?
Thank you,
Very-
drunk friend of the program.
Very disappointed fan. See if that doesn't look like a drunk person wrote it. Or no, you know what? I just changed my mind. It was written by an ancient person, an ancient human being. It's a former Tom Barberi fan who now, like Gina, I am not a crackpot.
Oh, I appreciate that. This took effort.
Yeah.
They had to. They had to
very old
purchase a postcard, buy a stamp.
It's a retiree in Moab.
Anyone can send an angry email. That takes no effort at all.
An angry postcard.
This took.
It's by someone
effort.
who doesn't know what email is. They're so old they don't know what email is.
I appreciate it.
I think you should. It's your old fan in Moab.
In Moab, I'll take it.
Signed old timer in Moab. Well, you should take it. It's great.
Can I keep that? I want to keep that.
Yeah. It's Gina's fan mail.
Okay.
What?
She gets it from prison and
prison
I'll
mail.
take the fans I can get.
And
You
the elderly.
go to a show with the fans that you have,
Ben
not
Marsh.
the fans that you want.
Ben Marsh and the old timer in Moab. I got me a free postcard out of the Poison Spider Bicycle Shop, and now I'm sending this to those misogynists.
Another thing, I am very happy with this.
You should be.
I will tweet out a picture of my fan.
Said, oh, Gina had a couple of glasses of wine and fired off some postcards, huh?
Right.
Yeah, how do we know that? That didn't come from Moab.
This isn't from Moab.
It's a postcard that you got when you were bicycling before you married your husband in Moab. When you came back with chafing.
That was just after I got married.
Remember,
I was pregnant and I didn't
You
know.
were.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. You were trying to impress your husband.
Yes.
The one and only time you went biking with your husband.
That was it.
He now do I recall? You got a new bike. You bought a bike.
Yep.
And that was the only time you rode that bike.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's too big for me.
Is it still?
It's too big. I can't sit on it. My feet don't touch the ground when I sit on it.
Then why did you buy a bike that was too
I
big?
didn't. He bought it for me without me, thinking I was a statuesque woman.
So is it still hanging in the garage?
Yes.
Just another.
Just waiting for his second wife?
Yes.
Just one more bit of evidence that he has no idea who you are.
Excuse me. Still
His
waiting.
third- yeah.
It's hanging there waiting for his third wife.
wife.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, his third wife.
$9.52.
I think I've been overselling this hard seltzer thing.
You think?
I was rereading the article, and it's
Oh,
it's
no.
gonna be the summer
You've
of
been
hard
leading us
seltzer.
astray?
Well, not completely. I think I put more behind it than I said. It's gonna be the summer of hard seltzer, but as I read this, it says it's going to be a big summer for hard seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different than it's going to be the summer of hard seltzer.
Oh, okay. It's just
going to be a lot of people
You're
are going to be
putting too much pressure on hard seltzer, Bill.
Yeah, it's.
So what that story is essentially saying that when warm weather approaches, cool, refreshing beverages have a tendency to sell.
Yeah, that's it.
And to
That's
put a new angle on this story that is printed every year, I made it hard seltzer.
Yeah. It's so David Berwick, who's the chief executive of Boston Beer, said that the growth of hard seltzer was the biggest shift in the beer industry since light beers. So it's a big shift in the beer industry.
I'm still not buying it. You've been talking about it all morning, and I'm still not going to buy it.
Oh, come on, seasonal flavors like watermelon and.
That's the thing,
Black
though. They
cherry.
barely have flavor. The flavor is like maybe they smell like it a little, but they don't taste like it.
And they don't have enough alcohol to make it worthwhile.
There's not enough
Exactly.
of anything.
And all they do is make
it's
you bloated.
half-assing every part of it.
Yeah, it just makes you bloated and burp a lot, and
No, thank you.
Oh no!
Like I said, I'm willing to change my attitude about hard seltzer if they spend a lot of money on our show. Then
I love Topo Chico.
Yeah.
This spring, Topo Chico hard seltzer was released.
Well, why? Oh no! Sounds like you need to try it.
Well, because I like Topo Chico, but I don't need alcohol in it.
You get your alcohol
Okay.
in plenty of other ways.
Okay, I've got
Sure
this.
do.
Okay, I've got this crazy idea, Bill.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
I may have to.
Don't you dare. You're against it right now. Don't you dare try it and see if you like it. You've already decided that you don't like it.
You're right.
So don't
You're
you
right.
dare.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll just stick with my old standards.
What are you doing over there? Sticking with my old
Sticking to my standards.
Oh, now we got people weighing in. The Stella Rosa Tropical Splash Watermelon, Pineapple, and Ruby Grapefruit is really good. That's just already too complicated.
It's too much going on there.
Well, we'll just see about this hard seltzer by the end of summer. We'll see.
It's my wife weighing in. Hard seltzer is the idea of healthy drinking.
Yeah.
Either drink alcohol or drink water. You can't do both in one drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a good way to sum it up.
Well, I think we need to. Katie, put on our calendar for the end of August that we're going to check back in and see if, in fact, this was a big summer for hard seltzer. I want to circle back on this. A summer review.
All right.
You want to do a promo?
We're going to do the promo.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Let's do it.
Welcome back. You made it through the long weekend, so join us for more Radio from Hell with Wednesday's show.
There always seems to be something that must go from your life, and you enjoy complaining about it. So send your must-goes to radiofromhell@x96.com, and maybe we'll help you at 6:45 with Things that must go.
Then at 7:45, Dr. Cobble is back to rescue you from your crazy uncle on Facebook and truthfully answer your COVID and vaccine questions.
So make sure you have your questions ready when you call in for Dr. Cobble's help.
Of course, there'll be more for Wednesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Gina, your phone buzzed through the promo.
Sorry. It's the vet
Would
calling.
you just get a camera? For God's sake, would you just get a camera?
Riley's got a vet. She's got to get her dip tat. She's got her bordetella. She's got to get her rabies shot.
What she needs is some hard seltzer.
Sorry, do we need to redo that? Or
No,
was it
it's
okay?
fine.
It's
Go
fine.
to Amazon and look for the Logitech camera. It's not expensive. It's all you got to do is plug it in. It'll come in a day.
All right, I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, because I've been on my computer camera all day and it's been horrible.
I agree. It's just too much headroom.
It's
There's all this.
horrible.
There's all this room, and
I can't.
there we go. That's a little better.
But I can't. But that's because I'm picking my computer up. And
well, don't. Can't you just? Oh, never mind.
I'll get a camera.
This is why I stack CDs.
You put your computer on something.
I
and
did.
Then
I put it on top of my
Elizabeth Taylor book,
but it's not tall enough.
All right.
I'll
Do you have a
get
couple of
what
Frank
is it?
Sinatra books you could swap out? Because the Sinatra books are pretty hefty as well,
Yeah.
as I recall.
Well, that's what my mic stand is on. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
See?
If
Look.
only you had more books in your house, then.
There, see?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that makes me dizzy.
Yeah, if only you had a few more books in your house. Could someone drop some books off to Gina's house because she doesn't have enough books
I'll
to stack
get a
up her stuff?
camera.
All right, okay. I think we're good. Fine job, Katie. All those troubles you were having, fine job. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
It's a big summer for hard seltzer.
Corey is next.